See, that's why we do the check. Now y'all should be able to. There we go. There we go. All right. Happy Friday, good people. Grand Rising. Y'all know what it is. It is the wake up. Welcome to the show. We got a lot to cover today. It's good. I like doing the back to back. This may convince me that we can do a show every day because since I couldn't do the show on Wednesday because I was down with the family on Wednesday. So we did yesterday AM, and usually that's a quick turnaround. Obviously going from yesterday and then today takes a lot to get all this content together. But who knows? Maybe this will be something that we start to get into on the regular. So who knows? Who knows? We'll give it a second. As you're joining, please make sure that you like. That's going to help boost the algorithm, all that good stuff. Get as many different people in the room as possible, engaging in these conversations. And that's what we are looking to do. What do we have on the schedule for today? We got a cool video from Keith Lee, cool interaction with Shannon Sharpe. I feel like there was a good takeaway from that interaction between them. So we'll take a look at that little clip. It's actually about relationships. So it's actually about relationships and the importance of having the right partner, significant other, husband, wife, whatever you want to call it. But this is particularly talking about how beneficial it is to have the right lady in your life. So we will talk about that. Let me actually get this squared away till we have. All right, I like this camera angle better. Back to back like Jordan 96, 97. The team is here. Queens is here. Mama Lay is here. I swear, it still geeks me. It's still like I'm still geeked off the fact that I log on here and then I see y'all log on with me. All the busy things that y'all could be like, all the things that y'all could be busy doing. All the things that we all could be busy doing. Matter of fact, we all could be busy doing because I told y'all, this show would, we don't even have to keep saying it. I feel like I hear people say that, different contributors or content creators, whatever you call folks, and they say that, and I don't know if people really mean it. And sometimes it comes across to me where I'm like, they don't really mean it. I mean it. So hopefully it's not coming across like everybody else, or like not everybody else, but like how maybe this is just the insecurities. See, my insecurities. I just want y'all to know that I care and I appreciate it. And it really gets me excited, the fact that y'all will log on here at 8 a.m. when I jump on and just have a convo with me. So that's definitely appreciated. Uncle Brother in the building. We got the team. So we ready to go. Matter of fact, we ain't got to wait for the room to fill up. We got everybody that we need. To have a good convo. So what do we got today on today's schedule? We're going to talk about, no, that's yesterday. We're going to talk about, like I said, Keith Lee combo with Shannon Sharpe. We got Anna, this one of your favorite contributors, Anna from The View. We got apparently she was trying to justify, and we got Ant in the building. Now we really good. But Anna Navarro from The View, she was trying to justify why it was okay that Biden gave out a pardon, and she said that, well, this other president did it, and then we found out some information about whether or not that other president actually did it. So we're going to talk about that. We got Leslie Jones. We're probably going to start off with this Leslie Jones video. She's a comedian. She was on a podcast with Gavin Newsom called Politic, and I guess that's like a play on the gang culture in California. Why Gavin Newsom? Like those two, Leslie Jones. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Leslie Jones. She's a comedian. But those two, Leslie Jones and Gavin Newsom, it was an interesting combination that made for an interesting conversation, fiery conversation, actually. So we're going to take a look at that. I know last time we said that we're going to go over the fact that Bernie agreed with Elon on something. I don't even know if we'll get to that. It's not necessarily like a big story. It's like, but there is a story behind it. So maybe we actually will get to that, because I think that is continuing to show that there may be a realignment of parties. And what we may be seeing is that when you have a guy like Bernie, who's seen as being on the far. I don't know if y'all are looking at me. All right, so this would be y'all left, right? If y'all are looking at me, all right. So if you have a guy on the far left, uh, whatever, y'all, guy on the far left and a guy like on the right, and maybe they're getting so far away from the middle that they're starting to meet at the ends of the lines. You get what I'm saying? Rather than the beginning of the line. So they start off here, and we've gotten so separated where far right, far left, radically opposite. Now we're starting to see like the Bernies. We're starting to see obviously Joe Rogan, who was a Bernie guy. A lot of people that were Bernie people now starting to see like, hold on, a lot of the same complaints that we had about the government, about the deep state, about the swamp, as Trump likes to call it. A lot of these same complaints we had. So we're starting to see a bit of a shift. Matter of fact, I can't even say we're starting to see a bit of a shift. The shift that we've all been talking about for a year or more, we're starting to see those things actually come to fruition. So it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time. And we got a cool video. We got a couple cool videos from Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings, I may change my profile pic to Scott Jennings. I may just put up a post to Scott Jennings on Instagram just to show him some love. We got Barack Obama. Barack Obama is starting to become extremely cringeworthy. Is it cringeworthy the right name, or cringe? Maybe I shouldn't use words that don't flow when I say them, but yeah, cringe doesn't, I don't know when I say it, but Barack Obama is starting to look like a clown to me. He's diminishing his reputation. The regards that we used to hold him in my opinion, I do not think that we're still holding him in those regards. And it's to the point where, and I'm seeing this with a lot of Democrats, that they will contradict themselves so much and act like we don't have access to that. They act as if we don't have access to the things that they said last year or the things that the Democratic Party is currently doing. And they just will say certain things. And it's like, damn, y'all accusing Trump of that. Isn't that exactly what y'all are doing? So we got a couple or one video of Barack on that. Then we got Scott Jennings, like I said, schooling a couple people. We got a valuable lesson from Dr. Umar. Maybe actually we'll start with that Dr. Umar, and then we'll go to Leslie Jones. And then we got Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is he's applying the pressure. He's not giving up. And what I'm talking about is with 2020 and that jab, where there's a lot of reports that are now coming out and justifying a lot of the supposed, what were they calling them? Conspiracy theorists, and the conspiracy theories that a lot of people were saying, where a lot of those things are starting to come out as true. A lot of the things that we used to get banned or that were taken down on the Meta platforms, on YouTube, on what was then Twitter, obviously Facebook and Instagram, the Meta platforms, a lot of those things that were being put up that were getting taken down. It's funny how a lot of these things with these reports, and they're not going to put them on mainstream media, but the reports are coming out that are justifying a lot of the things that those people were saying. So we're going to get into that as well. And then we got a little spicy back and forth between the Secret Service director and a member of Congress. So hold on, let me read these chats real quick, make sure that I'm caught up, and then we shall get into, what did we say? We'll do Dr. Umar first. So we'll tap into Dr. Umar first, and then we'll get into the conversation that I said with Leslie and Gavin Newsom. All right, hold on. We've got Mike in the building. Michael, what's up? Season's greetings. This festive season. Oh, Mike is selling some products. All right, we'll show love. This festive season, take your digital marketing to the next level. Okay, check out Micah. He specializes in promoting. All right, cool. Alina, A-Pal, what's up? Shout out to you. Mama Lay wrote, Leslie Jones speaks her mind. She definitely is speaking her mind. I don't know if I agree. Well, I know if I agree or not, but I don't want to say that and steer y'all one way or another. Not that I would, but y'all know what I mean. I know that y'all are free-thinking individuals, but I'd rather wait. We'll check out the video and then we'll react to it together. Queez in the building, as I already said. Let's get to the videos, man. Let's get to the videos. Let me share this screen. And we got a lot to get to. And it's going to be an exciting show. So we're going to talk about R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. Everybody good to talk about R. Kelly and Bill Cosby? Let me take Queez's name down since we're going to be talking about R. Kelly and Bill Cosby.
Drill under their home for.
This is Dr. Umar. Let's check it out. Y'all tell me, does he have a point? I think he has a point. Let's see.
R. Kelly is in jail because he didn't want to sell his masters to a certain music company. If he's wrong, he should do the time. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying he's only there because he broke the rules. Bill Cosby went to jail, not for molesting white women, but him and his wife didn't want to let the second largest oil company in the world drill under their home for oil. These people are not going to jail for sex crimes. They're going to jail for standing their ground. Puffy might be guilty, but that ain't why Puffy in jail. Puffy in jail because listen.
Why they keep interrupting the doc, bro? And this is why I will continue to listen to Dr. Umar. I'm not saying listen to him like everything he says I'm going to do. No, I will continue to hear him out. Dr. Umar gets a lot of heat. He gets a lot of heat. But one thing he is willing to do is say exactly how he feels and speak on it. And there's obviously a big part of that I respect. He'll say certain things that a lot of people are scared to say. Whether you agree with somebody, that's neither here nor there. But I think what we should be striving for is to just push people to be real. Let's hear it out.
You cannot be emotional and solve political problems.
Oh my God. You cannot be emotional and solve political problems. I know that for a lot of y'all that hear this, y'all know exactly what he's saying. I think it's honestly going to go over a lot of people's heads. It's going to go over a lot of people's heads because when he says you cannot be emotional and solve political problems, what does that immediately go to for me? What was the main thing that people were hating on Trump for, that people said you can't vote Trump, he's taking away rights? What was the main thing that we were talking about? I could wait for y'all to write it in the chat. I already know that y'all know, so I'm just going to say it. Abortion. Abortion was the main thing that they were trying to emotionalize us, get us all riled up and convince us that we were going back to Jim Crow, we're going back to slavery because Roe v. Wade was overturned and it was no longer going to be across the board in every state that abortions were going to be available. Now it became, and funded by tax dollars, I believe. And don't quote me on that, but I believe that that's the case as well. Now, obviously, it's up to the state. So they tried to use the most emotional issue to get us to make a political decision. So maybe we should back into it. Which candidates are using the most emotional type of marketing in order to convince us to do something? And shouldn't that tell us something? Shouldn't we want to go for a candidate that pushes us with logic rather than one that tries to just get us on board and just to get us so emotional that we're making a decision where we're throwing logic out the window? But let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'll run it back.
Puffy in jail. Puffy in jail because
listen to the crowd, how emotional they are.
You cannot be emotional and solve political problems. You cannot be emotional and solve. We get that from church. Church is all about emotion. You cannot liberate a people with emotion. Puffy may be guilty, and if he is, he should do the time. But that's not why he's there. Hugh Hefner did what Puffy did. He never went to jail. Puffy is in jail because he started a black first political party. Puffy is in jail because he sued one of the most powerful liquor companies in London. That's why Puffy's in jail. What the media does.
Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all think that Puff is in jail because of the things that the crimes that he actually committed, or that they think he committed these sexual crimes or whatever else he's being charged for, the trafficking and everything? Do y'all think that he's in jail because of those things? Or do you think that he's in jail because he made a power move that some elite people did not like, and this is their way of spanking him? Do y'all think that he's in jail for some of the reasons that we've discussed before, where, think about it, he was one of the first black super celebrities, super influencers to get and target black people to vote. That was when Puff was the first one pushing that. Vote or die, remember? And that was a very valuable thing for the Democratic Party. A very valuable thing. That kind of set the tone culturally how our generation looks at politics. Think about it. We were introduced to it on a mainstream level by the celebrities that we like and love by Diddy. And Diddy, where was he now when it came to the politics? And I think he changed his stance. I think he changed his tune. I think that he was given a hall pass and a get out of jail free card for a very long time based on how they were able to use him. And now if he's getting out of line, thinking he's a little bit more powerful, thinking he's a little bit more important than he is, as far as how the elites think, I think this was their way of spanking him. And I think that they do this with a lot of people.
Because they know black people like to see black people fail, is they'll sell us this when the real agenda is that. I'm not saying don't hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. As black people, we believe in ethics and morality and character. But don't be so dumb that you can't see the hidden hand at play. That's all. R. Kelly.
I don't know. Interesting little icebreaker. As Ant said, we got right to it. All right, so Ant said, I think both things can be true for all the people. Remember, I think Michael died for what he owned and what he was trying to do. I think Drake is being broken down for the equity he wanted. Bro, I'm with you on that. And even when you think about Bill Cosby, wasn't Bill Cosby trying to, what network was Bill Cosby trying to buy? And I think that Bill Cosby was seen as such an influential person that it's always going to be a threat. Like if you can help somebody, think about it like this. If you have the capability to help somebody so much, that means that that person that you're helping, let's say if you're helping somebody make a lot of money, that person that you're helping make a lot of money, what are they most concerned with? Losing that money, losing that power, losing that influence that they gained through you. So they're scared that if you ever walk around, now that person recognizes your power maybe more than anybody else because they know they benefit from you. So therefore, when you walk away from a situation, that group is going to be upset because they know how powerful you are, because they know they benefited from it when it was favorable to them, when you were working with them. So Ant wrote CBS. I don't know if it was CBS. I forget. I almost feel like it was one of like either NBC. Maybe you may be right. You may be right. I'm not totally sure. Zylo wrote, Umar always close to getting it right. He's halfway right. All right, so Zylo, you got to tell me now. And I'm not saying that I disagree with you, but what makes you say that Umar is halfway right in this situation? That's what I would ask. What makes you say that he's halfway right in this situation? And once again, I'm not saying that you're wrong. As a matter of fact, I would actually, NBC. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, because I thought it was like even a bigger station. But I actually, when I listen to Umar a lot, I actually have those same sentiments. That it's like, yo, he's halfway right, but it's like, or that I halfway agree. Not to say that he's wrong just because I disagree with him, but that's my stance and that's my opinion, the same as yours. Like when I'm listening to it, for me, I'm saying like he's halfway right. I halfway agree. But yeah, neither here nor there. We all know that happens. And we're not going to spend too much time on that. Nice little icebreaker to get y'all eyes open. Whenever you put R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, and Diddy on the screen, people going to pay attention. So if we can learn a lesson through them, why not? Why not? All right, so let's get to not United Healthcare. We're going to get to this Leslie Jones video. I'm telling y'all, this is going to be an interesting one. So let me catch up with the comments first before we get into that. And yeah, because that's going to be a hot one. So Uncle Brother wrote, indeed, Anthony, these brothers made the mistake of thinking that OJ had leveled the playing field, just the opposite. OJ sealed their fate by beating them at their own game. OJ may have sealed a whole lot of people's fate. That was one of those trials where that was one of those trials that showed, that highlighted race relations in the country, maybe more than any other trial. That was like Barack Obama running for president. I'm just voting for him because he's black. I'm just rooting for OJ because he's black. or I'm just voting for the other guy because I don't want a black president. I'm just rooting against OJ because I didn't like OJ thinking he was above it all. I didn't like OJ sleeping with or having a white wife and a beautiful white wife and all these. I don't know. Mike Jack, Sonny Cosby, NBC. Mike Jack, Sonny Cosby, NBC. Wow. Mike Jack, Sony. Hold on. Mike Jack, Sony, Cosby, NBC. What's the quiz? Break it down for me. My fault. But let's get to this next video, and I'm very excited to hear what y'all think.
The alleged comedian for Saturday Night Live, someone who I've rarely seen be funny, went
I didn't even know she was on Saturday Night Live. Sorry for not mentioning that in the intro.
On a Donald Trump rant. She sounded unhinged. She sounded racist. Let's ingest all 3 minutes of Leslie Jones in a racist tirade about Trump and his supporters and just what the world has come to. Play the clip.
To me, I just feel like all the shit is being revealed now. Trump brought out all those people who really are racist, because most white people are. They just don't understand that they have that microaggression.
Let me be very clear. Let me actually preface it with this. I do not just look for videos that allow me to talk about black women. I do not. I know y'all don't think that, but I'm still going to say it anyway. Maybe to ease, I'm going to say something else. Maybe to ease a little bit of what the sting of what I may be getting ready to say. So maybe that's just me putting that out there. But to say that Trump brought out all the racists, it's going back to the same argument that so everybody that voted for Trump is racist. Every white person is racist. What does racism even mean? Maybe we should go to that. What does the word racism even mean? Hold on. Let's do that. Hold on. I'm gonna share the screen with y'all because we need to look this stuff up, because the way this word is thrown around, I want to know what it means. What does racist mean? Can y'all see it on the screen? Hold on. We're gonna look up the definition of racism. Hold on. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular race or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. So even in the definition, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. That's interesting, and some thoughts come to mind as far as why it says a minority or marginalized. But let's go to the next line. The belief that different races possess different distinct characteristics, abilities, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. So that's the definition that I grew up with, or that I grew up thinking, that it's the belief that one race is superior to another. Now, I know that there's a whole bunch of other definitions, and as I've grown, I've come to understand racism to mean different things. Being strategic, using your strategic power to hold another group of people down, oppress another group just based on their race. A lot of different definitions there. When we just stand behind Trump being racist and he brought out the racist and he's a Nazi and all these different things, I think it's losing a lot of its juice. I think in 2016, when people were saying that he brought out all the racists, I think it was a different point. And I think that there was some validity to it in 2016, in my opinion, as far as how I was looking at it. Now, a lot of that was based on how the media was reporting certain stuff. So I also have to factor that into why I was thinking what I was thinking at the time. Charlottesville is a great example, to find people on both sides. So a lot of the lens that I was seeing things through, this was more believable in 2016. Saying that Trump brings out all the racists in 2024, I think that that's the same talk that pushes people away from the Democrats. like Trump being racist, I don't know. Like I don't know what that means. Trump bringing out the racist. I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. But let's keep going with the video.
Mostly are. You don't even understand some of the racist shit you do, and by accident.
This seems like that stance where black people can't be racist. She sounds like she believes she's one of those people that believe black people can't be racist, which is one of the most inferior mindsets that you can have. And the reason why a lot of people say that black people can't be racist is because people say that black people don't have the power to be racist. What are you talking about? How dumb of a statement, how dumb of a mindset is that? All white people are racist. Let me be very clear. Everybody is selfish. Everybody believes that they're more, I'm saying the majority of people. The majority of people believe that they're more important than the next person. And whether you'll say it, whether you'll consciously accept it, or that's a different story. But look at people's actions. Do people treat others the way that they want to be treated? No. Will people excuse their bad behavior towards somebody else if it benefits them personally? Yes. Everybody is selfish. So when you look at it from that standpoint, is it the belief that all white people are better than all black people? Do you think that Donald Trump thinks that all white people are better than all black people? I don't think so. He may not. I don't know. That's like, I mean, a lot of people would say that, but to come out here and say that Donald Trump has brought out all the racists, well, Joe Biden locked up all the black fathers, right? Joe Biden locked up all the black fathers when they were either using or selling crack cocaine, but gave a pass to everybody that was using the powder form of it with cocaine, even though his son obviously was using crack cocaine. When they come out, when it's an opioid addiction in Staten Island, oh my God, we got to get these people help. But when it's a heroin addiction, the same exact drug, it's, man, forget them. You know, we don't want them around our neighborhoods. We don't want them around our family members. It's a different mindset. So I'm just recognizing all these things, and I just see it totally different than how she's presenting it.
Just from being a white entitled mother. Seriously, and that shit's starting to show now, and it's getting so bad. Like, oh, we don't want you to see your history and all of that. I think people are just waking up to the shit that's been going on, and now we're waking up.
What do you think? I mean, do you think there's this current sort of?
And here you got this white man. What did I say all the time? Y'all, these white men, these white male liberals, and a lot of these white women, y'all allow these black women to just say anything and everything to y'all. You don't push back. You just sit back and accept it and say, yeah, you know, we're evil racist folk. Yeah. You don't push back. You don't say anything. And that's why a lot of people that's what creates a lot of conservative white men to feel like they got to stand on certain stuff, because you got people like Gavin Newsom that just allow black women to just say any and everything about white people. And meanwhile, they're sitting over there getting riled up because they're like, yo, stand up, like say something. You think all of us are racist? You think Trump is bringing out all the racists? Trump, in my opinion, he's doing a better job of unifying the country than what Barack Obama did and what Joe Biden did. Just look at what he's already done. Look at the people that he's brought on. He's bringing people from different parties, all different types of mindsets. And if we were not looking at it from the standpoint of Dr. Umar, when Dr. Umar just said, you can't solve political problems with emotions. You can't use emotions to solve political problems. If we weren't looking at it from that standpoint, then we would recognize the fact that Donald Trump, that same government that we've been complaining about being racist for so long, having these old white men in office that never leave, and these conservative folk, those same people are the people that hate Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is going in there and he's cleaning it out. That's what he's saying he's going to do. Now, he said he was going to do it the first time when he drained the swamp, didn't do it, hired a lot of people that were the traditional folks, the same people that he said that he was going to get rid of. But now you can see with his cabinet picks, it's a totally different thing. And I know that that's what a lot of these elites are scared of. Democrats and Republicans. So here you got Donald Trump standing up against the same government, the same Board of Education system, the same FBI, CIA, the same federal agencies that we've been complaining about for years, about being racist, about killing some of our leaders, about doing all these harmful things to our communities, but yet we're on the side of the people that are now for the agencies. We're on the Democrat side. We're for the FBI. We're for the CIA. Donald Trump is the one that's bringing people in that are going to dismantle, uncover a whole lot of stuff. I thought we didn't want to pay taxes on stuff that wasn't important to the people, that was just allowing the elites and the politicians that were able to spend this money to do whatever they wanted with it. This is what Elon Musk and Vivek are doing. They're going in and uncovering stuff and saying like, yo, we've misspent a whole lot of this money. And where do we think that money comes from? It comes from our tax dollars. Or they print more money and it impacts us from an inflation standpoint. Let's keep going.
The extreme of what you're just saying and sort of distillation in the last few years, I sense in particular, was a reaction to George Floyd. It was sort of a reaction sort of in that sort of COVID.
Gavin Newsom is a clown. He's a clown. He is the clown that will appeal to a whole bunch of black women in particular, because that's who the Democrats want to appeal to. We saw it in the election. That's who they want to appeal to. He's the type of guy that will just, it's embarrassing. It's really just embarrassing. He'll say anything, do anything, sweet talk y'all, have y'all thinking that he's on y'all side, and the whole time doesn't give a damn about you, just has chosen this path as his path to get to a powerful position. That's it. These people do not care about you. These people do not care about your families. These people are simply manipulating you into supporting them so they can get to a position of power, and that way you can be one of their strongest pawns in their army. That's it. That's it. My man Smart said it. If y'all know who Smart is, brilliant young mind. He said that black women have always been the greatest soldiers in the white man's army, and that is exactly what Gavin Newsom represents, in my opinion, though. All right, so Uncle Brother wrote, I don't think you have to intentionally look for these videos to call out black women. They're readily exposing themselves by putting these ridiculous rants out before considering the consequences. Even from a standpoint, and Uncle Brother, you bring up a great point. Even from a standpoint of how she's presenting herself. If a black man got on TV talking how she's talking, it would be looked at in a certain type of way. If a white man got on TV and started talking the way that she's talking, it would be looked at like, oh, easy, like that person's a little aggressive. But we pat black women on the back for it. We pat black women. The more aggressive, the stronger. Like those are all the things that we celebrate because it benefits not the people that they're in relationships with, not their families, but it benefits the people like Gavin Newsom that want to use them for a particular purpose to have them fight their battles. Y'all talk about being the most unprotected, right? Black women always talk about being the most unprotected. So why do y'all side with white men like Gavin Newsom that are just going to use y'all to fight battles rather than siding for another group of people or just siding with yourself and not being manipulated into being thrown into battle by a white liberal Democrat in Gavin Newsom? Y'all say y'all are the most unprotected, but want to jump out the window and be the first line of defense when it comes to a Gavin Newsom without even realizing and allowing your emotions. Why? Oh, because of abortion. Because of abortion. This is what all of this comes down to. They've made abortion such an emotional issue for a lot of y'all that no matter what the other side says, it doesn't matter. We're rocking with these folks. Let's keep going. Queez wrote, actions speak louder than words. What affects you more, someone calling you a racist remark or a policy that puts you at a disadvantage? What has impacted black people more? Donald Trump? Oh my God, Donald Trump, his dad wouldn't rent apartments to black people. He put out a Central Park 5 article calling for these young men to get the death penalty. Oh my God, Donald Trump brings out racist. Did we not see the video from yesterday with Joe Biden and his crime bill What has impacted the black family more than Joe Biden's crime bill? Name a policy that has impacted negatively black households more than the crime bill. Name one of Trump's policies, please. And while y'all doing that, I'll get to the rest of the comments. They sit back and Mama Lay wrote, they sit back and listen. They sit back and allow them to make fools of themselves. Leslie looks really militant, and it's embarrassing. Shaking my head. She looks very militant, and it is embarrassing. It's like, why are you trying to? Like, why are they trying to make y'all out to be soldiers? And then what happens when somebody says, hey, y'all don't have to be that way? When the kicker at the Kansas City Chiefs, Harrison Butker, when he says like, hey, we know the society only rewards y'all or pats y'all on the back for climbing the corporate ladder and being these other things and seeing that as your success. But being a mother, being in the household, maybe being a housewife, all of these, that's a very honorable, maybe the most honorable thing that you can do, raise a family. But we don't pat people on the back. We don't give y'all the 30 under 30 awards for just being great mothers. No, we give it to you for acting a fool on TV, for fighting other people's battles, for climbing the corporate ladder and disregarding family and pushing that off. We're going to freeze our eggs. Don't worry about that. We'll address that later on. More eggs frozen now than ever. More eggs frozen now than ever. So we are choosing to climb the corporate ladder over having families and having kids. That's what we're seeing. Levi wrote, shout out to Levi. You were here last time, right, Levi? Appreciate you tapping back in. The liberal media has created a real shitstorm over the last 8 years. Race hustlers, Al Sharptons. The influence they've had on people's opinions of each other is truly scary. People's minds are fragile. I agree with you 100%. And I wish that more people would realize how fragile their minds have become by allowing ourselves to get so emotional that it's like we are such emotionalized creatures that the littlest thing can sway us one way or another. I was having a conversation yesterday with a close friend, and there was an issue that we were having with a mutual person, or that he was having with somebody that I've had an issue with. And the initial response was to be like, man, F that, like expose all of them. But then we got to a point where it's like, nah, we don't need to do that. Be logical. Be logical. Be strategic. Don't be emotional. When you're all emotional, you're just, oh, I'm going to write him an email back. I'm going to say something. That's how we all think. But in all actuality, how are we going to feel after we do that? Yo, I want to punch this person in the face. How are you going to feel after you do that? Now you got to go to court. Now you got to miss work. Now you're going to lose your job just because this person says something. You understand how things can become when you get emotional. Uncle Brother wrote, good point, Queez. Dems talk a good game, but their policies seem to do as much, if not more harm, damage to black folks than those of the so-called racist party. Can I just ask y'all a question? Uncle Brother, I agree with you 100%. Can I just ask everyone a question? All of these things that we talk about, when it comes to advancing society, when it comes to improving our families, improving the chances of our young kids being successful in life, there is a solution to all of this. There is a solution to all of this. And it may be the most impactful solution, but we disregard it. The solution to being successful, whether you look at a group of people that are successful, whether you look at individuals, is having a strong family structure, right? Having a two-parent household. When you look at how kids do having a two-parent household compared to not having a two-parent household, it's clear, right? Now, you may be one of the exceptions, but we can't just see the world through exceptions. We can't see the world through LeBron James's and say everybody should be able to play in the NBA. Look at LeBron James. He played in the NBA. Everybody should be able to. We can't see the world. We have to see the world through the norm. The 5'8" dude who may not be able to jump or run fast. That's the norm. That's how we have to see the world through in a lot of these situations. Because when we see the world through, emotions allow us to see the world through LeBron James and the exceptions. Emotions are what trigger people when I simply say something that the stats prove that a two-parent household is going to create the best chance of your kid being successful compared to a single-parent household. When people initially tense up and get upset when me saying that, those are your emotions. I'm just talking about the stats. If you're the exception, cool, be the exception. But the rule is that two-parent households provide a better support system. They nurture a child better to have success in life later on. It just is what it is. So if that's the case, name me another factor that is as strong in determining whether or not our kids will be successful than having a two-parent household. Name me another factor. So if there's not a better factor out there, or if there's not a stronger factor that plays a role in our kids becoming successful or not, then why not focus on that one? And then it's very simple, because now we can back into it. Now we can say which party's principles, which party's values, which party's agenda do you think is going to give us the best chance to have successful two-parent households? Which party do we think is pushing more for that? Do we really care about the success of our younger generations? Or do we just want to root for our favorite football team? Which one? Because we can't have both. We can't, or maybe you feel like you can. I'm not going to tell you what you can't have. Both haven't been working. So maybe we should choose one and lean into that. When we look at all these other cultures that are successful, Asian cultures being super successful, whether it's Indians, whether it's Chinese, whether it's Koreans, whether it's what are people from Singapore called? Singaporeans? I don't know. Whether if you're from Singapore, is Singapore? Which is the one from Crazy Rich Asians? Somebody tell me, where was Crazy Rich Asians? What were they? That may not have been Singapore. Whether it's Jewish people, all of these people that are successful, we look at all these other cultures, and if we study them, we realize like, they have a solid family structure. They have a solid family structure. Matter of fact, when you look at the numbers and study, and I got to go back and look at this, but I'm going to actually this is something that I try not to do. I'm not going to say it as a fact, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask y'all. I've heard this before, but I'm going to ask us all. Look at the numbers. When we talk about racism and put that at the forefront of every single issue that we have, when you compare white two-parent households to black two-parent households, I would say that there's a lot of similarities there in the outcome and in the success outcome of the kids. I think that there's a greater disparity between, or there's less of a disparity between white and black than it is between two-parent households and single-parent households. That would be my claim. I may or may not, I've heard it plenty of times. That's why I'm confident saying it. But to say it as a fact, I would have to show y'all the numbers. So maybe that's something that I'll look into. Queez wrote, black women by far are the Dems' greatest supporters. They are the monolith. Just think about, why are black people, the people that are doing the worst, why are they the ones that are so monolithic when it comes to voting for a political party? Don't y'all realize, don't we realize, don't y'all realize that when you study the people that politics is benefiting the most, they are not monolithic when it comes to who they are deciding to vote for. They are not going into it and saying, we voting Democrat regardless of whatever, regardless of who y'all put out. Matter of fact, we ain't even got to say it. Just let the action show it. We brag about black people have been supporting the Democratic Party for so. That's nothing to brag about. That's something to say, what the F are y'all doing? Why? Why have we been doing this? What have the results been? What have we received in return for the things that we're giving? Why do we keep paying for a product that we're not receiving any goods and services in return? I don't know. But and then when you look at these other groups, they'll vote for whoever. They're going to vote for who's going to put us in the best position. All these Democrats and a lot of the Joy Reids saying all these Latinos, they voted against their best interest. Politics have been more favorable. To me, Latinos have gotten more out of politics than black people. So maybe we should take a lesson out of their book instead of looking down on people thinking that we're better than them. because they may not have been in this country as long and they didn't build the country through slavery and all this other stuff. Yeah. If black people did all this, then why is our standard so low when it comes to what we receive based on what we give to a lot of these politicians? Let's keep going. Ant wrote, like I said, Black Lives Matter, fear-mongering mixed with Trump, not reprimanding the cops and or bigots. Queez wrote, they know their target audience, LOL. That's a fact. Just sent you something funny, by the way. Queez, should I play it? Is it something that, if you sent me something, should I put it on there or should I review it first? You tell me. Japanese. Crazy Rich Asians, I don't think they were Japanese, but maybe. Maybe they were. But you're saying Japanese as far as the people that are doing very well here. Yes, I totally agree. Maya wrote, most people who live in Singapore are from other countries. Okay. Levi wrote, totally agree. Queez wrote, had that two-parent household combo with one of my boys. When you say kids are more successful in a two-parent household, it can be taken as the single parent was not enough or a failure. And Queez, I'm so glad that you said that. I'm so glad that you said that because you're right. And if I want to actually, I don't want to just be right in saying something. I actually want to say things that are going to do what I would want somebody saying something to me do, which is I want somebody who's going to give me some game that I'm able to use in my life to make my life better. So how they say it to me matters, right? Because if somebody says something to me some way, I may not be as accepting of the message or not appreciate the lesson in what they're saying as much. So let me be very clear. When I say that two-parent households are giving our kids the best chance of being successful, I'm not at all diminishing the single-parent households. I'm not at all. Even when I actually say it in my head, this is going to sound weird. I'm not even placing as much blame as maybe. I'm not only giving the blame to the parents. What I want us to do is understand that we have been manipulated. We have been encouraged to move in a certain type of way, to behave in a certain type of way, to embrace a certain type of culture that is only going to lead to us having single parent households. That's what I'm saying. I'm not, and maybe a lot of people will say, nah, you got to give more blame to the parents. No, this is one of those things where I am understanding that the culture that has been created, the culture that is pushed on us, the culture that we've accepted. So we have accepted it. So we definitely have to take some accountability in that. But I'm also extending a bit of grace because there's certain things that the culture, it's going to influence us all. How I look at abortions growing up when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is different than how I look at it now. I have to understand that the culture played a huge role in impacting my views on these things. So I want to be very clear. Just because I'm not calling out single parent households, I'm not calling it out at all. I actually, and you want to know why? Because I don't have any kids. I'm not married. So I actually honor the people that took that risk earlier than me to get married, to create a family, to start working on, to have kids, all these different things that people have done. I actually honor those things. And if it didn't work, I understand that may lead to a lot of these things. But what I'm attacking is the fact why it didn't work. Why is it so hard for us to get along with each other? Why is there so much resentment between men and women? A lot of it is exactly what these people are pushing in the Democratic Party. They don't want us, Black people specifically, they do not want Black families together. They want to be able to manipulate Black women and to incentivize, give them certain things that incentivize them to get behind these liberal parties and have the mindset to where they're replacing the Black man in the household. That's what they want. That's what they've always wanted. That has been the plan for a very long time. We're going to use welfare and all these social programs to replace what a Black man would be providing in a household. That Black man won't provide for you. We'll provide for you. We got you. That Black man won't protect you. Oh man, that's a shame. We'll figure out a way. Just vote for us and we got you. That's the mindset. So that's what I'm trying to get rid of. It's not at all calling out. I mean, I guess it is a part of calling it out, but it's the reasoning. Why do we think the way that we think? Why is it so just acceptable to just now? I'm not saying this is the blanket for everybody, but why is it more? And let me so I'm going to tell you what I was going to say, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to rephrase it to. I was going to say, why is it so easily acceptable to get a divorce? Like, why is that something that's just a option where it's like, oh, we're not getting along, maybe we should get a divorce, and everybody in the family is going to be cool with it. Oh, if you're not happy, if it's not working, don't worry. You could always figure something else out. It's good. You co-parent, you could do it. That's what I was initially going to say. Now, what I would change it to is to say is, why is it in the relationship that we will not do any and everything, or that, and I'm saying both parties, maybe in a lot of times it's one person or another, but why? Like, literally, why will we not do anything to make this relationship work? Because in a lot of relationships, when you sit down and say, hey, what do you need from me? That person tells them, the other person says, what do you need from me? Okay, boom. Those things in a lot of ways are very simple. But what is preventing us from providing those things to our significant others that makes it easier and in our minds, the better decision to walk away from this and to try stuff out on our own? And it's not fun out here. I don't think anybody's running around saying like, yo, it's amazing being out here single. They try to push that to us in our 20s and our 30s. But I mean, when you get to, I'm 37, like that is, I don't want any parts of that. I don't want any parts of that. But why is it in our minds that we would rather make the decision to get a divorce rather than to do any and everything to keep our family and our village together? In my opinion, it's a lot of cultural issues as well. And why doesn't a relationship work? Because that person's not doing something, or that person's doing something that this person doesn't like, or just doesn't agree, whatever. This person's doing something that person, or that. I mean, of course, there's a lot of other reasons, but a lot of times it's just that. I would assume. Maybe it's not. Let me let me try to catch up with these. All right, I'm gonna read real fast. It's not bad. LOL. One parent can do it. One parent can do it, but that's what I think you're saying. One parent can do it, but it's hard. Uncle Brother wrote, exactly. Why are we black folks still supporting Democrats? From my perspective, they have failed us over and over. Democrats have failed us over and over. So many black people running around saying Trump's using the justice system to benefit him selfishly. He's just trying to get in a position of power so he can use it against his enemy. That is exactly what the Democrats are doing. That is exactly what Joe Biden just did with his kid. Not only just pardoning him from the things that he just pled guilty of, but giving him a blanket pardon. Is that not the same privilege, the white privilege that all these black Democrats talk about? Is that not what Joe Biden just exhibited? But what do y'all do? Y'all gonna defend y'all favorite football team by any means necessary. Well, we still better than y'all. We still did it. No, bro, you don't have to. You do not have to always agree with the Democrats. Y'all do not have to vote Democrat. I know you may feel bad. I know that you've been convinced that the ancestors are going to turn over in their grave if you consider voting for somebody else, but it's not that. What was the lesson that I got from football that I talked about yesterday? Do what makes sense. If you grow up learning that the Democratic Party is the best party for black people, what makes sense now? What made sense then may not make sense now. We're using old emotions and old thoughts about. We just can't get out of our own ways. Let me keep going. I honestly know a lot of successful people who were not fortunate enough to have a two-parent household. Some personally. I have mixed feelings. I know plenty of people that come from single-parent households that are extremely successful. I know plenty of people. But you can't argue with the statistics. You can't argue with the statistics. And to be totally honest, I wasn't even going to get into this statistic, but the worst single parent household is a woman raising a kid. They did numbers. Now, this study I am aware of. This is a study that Kevin Samuels used to always talk about. They looked at single parent households ran by women and single parents households ran by men. The single parents households that were ran by men actually those kids were very close to being as successful as the two-parent households. Their performance was around the same. Where it lacked is when the women were running the households. And I wasn't even going to go that route, but it is what it is. We got to say it how it is. So I know plenty of successful people. I know plenty of people that made it to the NFL. But when I go talk to a bunch of kids in 8th grade, I'm not seriously telling them that, hey, every person here is going to make the NFL. Nah, it's not likely. Not happening. I just saw y'all practice. It's weak. Y'all are not hungry. Y'all are not dedicated. Y'all are not making the league. So we can all, I'm sure, think of different people in our minds that were successful in situations, that were exceptions in certain situations. When I look at my dad and okay, he grew up in the South Bronx. I could say my dad became an attorney. He grew up in the South Bronx, poor. Anybody could grow up. Like, what's wrong with these little Negroes in the South Bronx? Why can't they get it together? My dad did. I can't look at it like that. You know what I mean? Like, because there's different impacts, and as my dad admits a lot, he was very lucky. He was very lucky. Let's keep going. Urs wrote facts. Bez wrote, oh man, I'm so behind. Oh my God. All right, let me try to catch up with this. Abort mission, Bez. Vons wrote, divorce is good if you try to make it work and it don't work. Okay. Queez wrote, for better or worse. I don't, divorce is good. I don't know if divorce is ever good. If you're saying that it's the best option based on y'all aren't going to kill each other in the household, then I guess so. Yeah. Levi wrote, the destruction of the nuclear family is a topic discussed by everyone. It has been getting worse for a long time. The revival of Christianity will help bring those values back to the West. Levi, where I'm going to push back is, I'm going to say that it's not a topic discussed by everyone. Matter of fact, I'm going to say that you're right. It's a topic discussed by the Democrats the same way it was discussed by Black Lives Matter. And it was only discussed because they wanted to destroy the nuclear family. It's a topic that is discussed by Democrats behind the scenes. It's a topic that Larry Elder brought up, that Vivek Ramaswamy brought up. A lot of Black people didn't like them, Vivek speaking on it. So the Democrats talk about the nuclear family behind closed doors because they need to benefit from not having the nuclear family. The Republicans, conservatives, and some independents, they actually talk about pushing and promoting the nuclear family. So they may both be talking about it, but they're talking about it in two totally different ways. Flow, not force. That's Bez's advice. Flow, not force. So let things flow rather than force them. And then I guess I'm assuming that you're saying, Bez, it's more easily to digest, more easily for people to accept when you're flowing and not forcing something. Correct me if I'm wrong. Relationships nowadays aren't working because they were started with poor guidance and a lack of foundational steps. So when the worst or even just bad shows up, from better or worse, people quit. And I'm so glad. The reason why I'm clapping is because obviously I value it differently when it comes from somebody that has more experience in the particular area than myself. So that's why I'm clapping for that. Mama Lay wrote, marriage is not easy. It takes serious dedication on both parts. It takes a commitment to look at yourself. Most people don't want to be accountable, let alone looking in the mirror. That's it. But my question is, what makes us not want to do those things? What makes us the same person that we used to love so much, that made our days brighter, that we couldn't wait to see and spend time with? What makes us all of a sudden get to the point, or not, I'm not going to say all of a sudden, but what makes us get to the point where now we're seeing it like, I can't be around this person. I can't stand this person. I ask them to do certain things and they don't want to do those things. They ask me to do certain things and I just can't bring myself to. And I'm not saying, I'm literally asking the question, what brings us to that point? And I think it's a lot of what Ant said as far as a foundation. I think we're not taught how to be husbands. We're not taught how to be wives. We're not taught any of these things. And we're just thrown in there and just kind of like, and for the people that didn't grow up with seeing that in the household, it makes it even more difficult. How are you supposed to learn how to play football if you never play football, if you never have anybody coach you on it? How are you supposed to learn it? Do what makes sense. Divorce may make sense. But I think what we're missing is why, how do we get to a point where divorce makes sense? That's what I'm saying. I think y'all are hearing me say that divorce is not an option. I'm not diminishing or trying to make people feel bad that have gotten a divorce. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is that how do we get to a point where divorce makes sense? And let's just look at it this. If the numbers truly show, let me ask y'all a question. If the numbers show it, let's just, as if we're looking at the stats, if the numbers show that our kids have the best chance of being successful in a two-parent household, let's just say that, and it's significant. And it's significant. If the numbers show that our kids have a better chance of growing up and having success in a two-parent household, how do we get to a point where divorce makes sense? How are we not able to compromise, put our ego to the side, show some humility, work with that same person that we decided to have sex with raw and ejaculate in and marry? How do we get to a point where divorce makes sense? And the only way we get to that point is if both or one of the people decide that they are no longer going to work on it. It's no longer worth working on it. Isn't that the only way that you can look at it? Like, how do any two partners, it could be business partnership, it could be any partnership, how do you get to a point where you decide, hey, splitting is probably the best thing? It's because either both or one of the people are not willing to adjust, are not willing to make certain sacrifices, are not willing to change their behavior to work with the other person, right? So what prevents us from working on those things? That's what I'm asking. Saying there are successful people that come from single families, households, does not negate two parents lead to healthier development. That's all I'm saying. Just because there are successful people that come from single parent households, it does not negate the fact that two parents lead to a healthier development. Isn't this what we do on a day-to-day? We try to put ourselves in the best position to have the greatest chance to be successful. So if we're really looking to give ourselves the greatest chance to be successful, and we look at all these factors that are going to determine whether or not we'll be successful in raising kids that can have a chance of success, if the greatest factor is a two-parent household, then why not focus on that? We'll go to school for 4 years, spend all this time putting stuff on the back burner, not seeing our family, not worrying about relationships, to get a master's, to get a PhD, to do all these things to give ourselves the greatest chance to make more money, right? But then we won't do the things that give us the greatest chance to have our kids become successful in life. I don't know. Uncle Brother wrote, as I'm getting to know you, one thing that has impressed me is your parents' support of your ventures. Their involvement in your upbringing shows in your self-confidence, expression, overall success. Yo, when I tell y'all, Uncle Brother, this is why I'm so passionate about this. When you feel like, you know what it's like? It's like you found out this cheat code to life. And you realize that when I'm looking in the mirror, it's not you, bro. It's not that you're just the most amazing person. It's not that you're just the most intelligent person. It's not that you're just the most charismatic. It's not that you're the best athlete. It's not any of those things. It's this. That's what it is. And if I could hide this, that's what it is. That's my cheat code. And I'm pissed off. Hold on. That's my cheat code. So if I realize that I have a cheat code, why would I not want to tell the world yo, I just found out there's this amazing cheat code that I have access to. It changes everything. Bro, my parents have been allowing me to bet on myself. My parents allowed me to turn down Princeton, the #1 school in the country, Yale, which was #2 in the country academically, every single Ivy League school I got accepted to. The Patriot League schools I got accepted to. My parents allowed me to turn down Princeton for the chance of going to prep school before I even got accepted into prep school. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the confidence that that gives a kid, an 18-year-old kid? I told my parents, like, yo, I like Princeton, but I went to the football practice. I don't think they're going to challenge me enough. I also have dreams of going to the NFL. I want to challenge myself on the field as well as academically. Are you guys going to be okay with me declining Princeton, offering me to come to their school for a prep school that I haven't even got accepted into, that I'm also going to have to spend a lot more money at that prep school than I would have to spend at Princeton? My parents allowed me to do that. It gave me the confidence to then go earn a scholarship at William and Mary, where they paid $5 for my education. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? My parents paid $5 for my education and got bread. I was getting paid to live off campus. I was getting stipends. Just like, do y'all understand the confidence that a two-parent household can give a child? And if you did not grow up in a two-parent household, just like I don't know what it's like growing up in a single-parent household, you do not know what it's like growing up in a two-parent household. It's not fair. We're not giving our kids the greatest chance to be successful. Isn't that what should matter most? Uncle, brother, that's why I'm passionate about it. Mama Lay also, people have to be willing to communicate. Life gets you to that point because you have to be willing to grow. I agree. Selfishness, preventative things. Both people have to want to do the work. I agree completely. In a relationship, you got to be more thoughtful of other people's feelings. All of these things. And bonds, I'm 100% with you. And what I'm wondering is, why, like, what prevents us from wanting to do those things? What makes me rationalize why I should go out here and go try to have sex with all these other women, and rather than just trying to lock something down? What makes me want to do that? It's me, of course. It ultimately has to fall on me. Y'all know that. I'm a big self-accountable person. It is what it is. Like, I'm very open when it comes to that type of thing. But I have to ask myself, yo, what's making me think that this is okay to do? Like, this is crazy. And so the fact that I'm experiencing that, and I see myself as a pretty disciplined person, then I also I'm understanding, like, yo, other people may have different vices, you know, to where maybe, okay, and some people may say, like, okay, this may be one of your vices, so you can't speak down on somebody else who's unhealthy, because that's their vices, maybe eating unhealthy and not wanting to work out. Yeah, cool. I understand all that. Let's figure out how we can get to a place where, how about everybody can call everybody out on their BS? Everybody can call everybody out on their vices. Everybody. I've had people in the chat call me out on my vices, and I look at it. I don't push back. I don't say, I'm like, oh, word, I got to work on that. I got to work on that. Like, I don't care. Like, if you're trying to make me better, then, yo, that's all I care about. That's what I prioritize. Ant wrote the things, pushing feminism, devaluing men that were raised without healthy male role models, huge one. Women raised without healthy female role models, huge one. A government that benefits by your dependence, 100%, 100%. What prevents it is, again, facing yourself. Blame is far easier than working together. Which political group tells us to blame the other group compared to figuring it out on your own and holding yourself accountable to becoming successful? Which political group is going to push me in a direction? That's how I look at it. Which religion is giving me excuses? Nah, I don't want Jesus dying for my sins. I need to be held accountable for my sins. I need to be held accountable for my actions. Stop trying to push all of that on Jesus, bro. How do y'all know Jesus asked for that? Y'all created the book after Jesus was already dead. So don't tell me that Jesus died for my sins. You be accountable for your sins. just like I'm accountable for my sins. And I know we're going in a totally different direction. Let me bring it back. I'm not trying to piss people off, but I'm just trying to get to a position. If everybody accepted more accountability, I think we'd be in a better position. Myself, first and foremost, obviously included in that scenario. Ant wrote, Leslie, you're right. It takes both parties to make it work, but only who doesn't for it, but only one who doesn't for it to fail. So it takes both parties committed 100% for it to work. That's what I'm hearing, Ant. But only one to not be committed 100% for it to fail. I agree with that. Raging narcissism stops people from working on themselves because they'd rather be right instead of wrong. I agree. Dak, you was in AP classes too. You was different. And the whole reason why I'm in AP classes. Why? Because my mom was a teacher. My dad, who probably was insecure with his education in elementary and high school, but got the opportunity to be a part of a program with City College that focused on kids like him. So this first year of college was remedial courses to catch up with the rest of the kids. And then he just had the discipline to follow through, continue, become an attorney. He had a huge support system at home as well. It was different than mine, but he had a support system as well. The only reason why my dad has 8 brothers and sisters that grew up on and half of them grew up on sharecropping farms or were born. He was the only one born in New York. Everybody else was born on a farm. My grandfather came up here, I think a year or two. My dad can correct me. He doesn't like writing in the chat, but if he's listening, he could correct me. My grandfather came up here a year or two before and left and the rest of my family was still down working on the sharecropping farm. My grandfather came up here, secured a job, and then came back down and got everybody else and brought them up here. You think that would have been successful or an option if my grandparents didn't decide to lock in together? Like that they would have been able to create even a support system for my dad, the youngest of those 9 kids, to have an opportunity? It wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. And then what did that create in me? My dad realized how important education was. So therefore, that was something that was pushed for me, where it was like, I don't care about what the standard of your other friends. I don't care if your other friends get C's and they're still allowed to play in the game this weekend. If you bring home C's and you could have brought home a B or an A, then you're not playing that sport. You're not playing in that game. I couldn't get my license. Getting my license was a year delayed because of a warning notice that I got in AP history because I was BSing. That's how you hold kids accountable. So hopefully you won't have to pardon them when they're in their 50s, like Hunter Biden, because you're holding them accountable when they're younger. I know that that's easier said than done, and I'm not a parent, so me saying that doesn't hold a lot of weight, but I'm just speaking about it from the standpoint of a son. Levi wrote, pop culture teaches young people to put themselves first and to not give a F about what other people think. Yeah, like we all see it. And Levi, it's pop culture and which party has decided to align themselves with pop culture? Which party is rocking with the Swifties? Which party is bringing Beyonce, having Meg Thee Stallion shake her butt on stage? Which party is pushing this stuff? And I'm not sitting here saying that that's just the strategy that the Democrats have chosen. And I do bash the Democrats more than I bash the Republicans because I think that the group that I was investing in, the group that I was supporting, the group that I was voting for, the group that I paid for a particular product, you damn right I'm going to bash you more than the other group that I didn't pay for. If I paid for you to bring me something, then I'm going to hold you to a different standard than somebody that I didn't pay for something. Levi wrote, you have to care what other people think. Without each other, we have nothing. I agree. Without each other, we have nothing. Vons wrote, American lifestyle can get crazy. Got to have more self-control. I agree. Bez wrote, that's a whole lot of calling out. Bez wrote, imagine trying to go turn everything in the room right side up. Impossible. Bez said he's ready to go to hell. I don't think I'm going to hell, but I also don't need to go to heaven. I don't need to go to, and Bez, elaborate, bro. Because when you say these things, this is what I always talk to you about. When you say these things, I mean, I don't know if you care or with the intention of you saying these things, but explain them. I think that what you're saying, if Bez, if you explained all of these things, I think the rest of the chat would understand what you're saying if you want them to get something from the message that you're putting out there. So I think I understand what you're saying, just based on you and I's personal conversations. But I also don't want to take what you're saying and read into it in a different way than you're intending it to. So what I would say when I hear you saying that is, what does the Bible teach us? What does Christianity teach us? Christianity allows somebody who committed crime their whole life, raped a whole bunch of kids, did all the type of stuff. But if they're in their last years, they accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, they can go to heaven. Meanwhile, somebody else that just could have just been a good person their whole life, but never accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, they're not going into heaven. So that's why I say, I don't need to go to heaven. I don't need to go to heaven. I'm actually not even thinking about it. I actually don't care about something that I can't prove, about something that I don't know what's going to happen after I die. I'm actually just very focused on right now and having and trying to bring positive to people actually in this world right now. I'll worry about that. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But I'm just going to live a righteous life. If we do believe in spirituality, if we do believe in energy, then I just have to have faith that if I put out good energy here, then it'll carry me along to wherever I go when I decide to transition, or when God and I work that out between us. Bez, you crazy. See, and that's what I mean, Bez. A lot of people will hear what you're saying and just have the same response that Vaughn says, Bez, you crazy. I don't think Bez is crazy. I just don't think that he's explaining everything how he may explain it if it was a conversation. Vaughn's wrote, love your dad's stories, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. See, Dak, you're open to look at yourself. There's your answer. Both people have to be open to accountability. Yo, in my opinion, y'all tell me if this is the case. The most confident people are perfectly fine with critiquing themselves, with allowing other people to critique them, with being vulnerable, with being open to criticism. I think a lot of the confident people want criticism. Give me criticism. Tell me how you really feel. I'm open to it. There's nothing like what can be said that's going to hurt me. Like what can hurt me? I don't see. I'm only going to benefit from it. Thank you for being willing to give me some criticism. Either I'll take it, think about it, and make some changes, or I'll take it and maybe I don't agree with that. Either way, it's not hurting me. It's just getting me to question something within myself. And what do we say about questions? When we question things, we should be curious. We should be curious. I don't know. Nasir wrote Caldwell, Levi, Dirty Dems. Ant wrote Bez being Bez. I love you, brother. I love you too, bro. And that's why I say I'm ready for hell. I don't know if you're explaining it. Maybe everybody else is understanding what you're saying. But I don't know if I'm explaining what you're saying the correct way. Bez wrote, but I don't believe in such places or existence. And Bez, I don't care about stuff that I have to believe in. Let me be very clear. And maybe this is something that y'all can take away from. I don't care about stuff that I have to believe in. If I have to believe in it, that means I don't know. If you ask me whether or not I believe in Jesus, if I believe in heaven, if I believe in hell, what does it matter? Do I believe in Santa Claus? Do I believe in the Tooth Fairy? Do I believe in my parents? No, I don't believe in my parents. I know. My parents have shown me. I know how my brother feels about me. I just know. So I try to focus on the things that I know and not get carried away and overly emotional about the things that are just beliefs. If it's a belief, then that means it can't be proven to anybody. So why do we argue over beliefs when there are things that can't be proven? It's just your opinion versus my opinion. Imagine that. We have probably had more wars on this planet over religion, over things that nobody can prove, compared to all the things that can be proven. We argue and fight over stuff that is irrelevant, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. All these different religions, and what is the golden rule? Treat others the way you want to be treated. If everybody just took on the golden rule of treating others the way we want to be treated, would we even need religion? I don't know. Let's keep going. Bez, what do you believe our time on earth is? Uncle Brother wrote, beg to differ, Levi. Caring about what other people think is disempowering when we give what other people think priority over our hopes, dreams, and heart's desires. So, Uncle Brother, even when I was reading Levi's comment, I knew some people would take it that way. However, the reason why I would push back on that, you're 100% right in what you're saying. But a lot of us think we're above caring about what other people think. If my mom tells me something, or if somebody tells me something, hey, you're being rude to me, I'm going to care to a certain point to where I'm questioning, are my behaviors being rude to this person? Now, if they're not, then I'm going to keep it moving. I'm not going to let it impact me. I'm not going to let it affect me. If somebody says, yo, that outfit, I don't like that, I may not care what you think, but I may think about it and decide, I don't care. Like, it is what it is. I may think about it, but I think it's a balancing act, because there's a lot of people that don't care what other people think, and it limits the things that they can learn in this world. Now, maybe we should preface it by saying, okay, if I hold you in certain regards, then I care about what you think. Now, if just some stranger on the street is walking up to me and says something like, yo, you're broke, I may or may not care. Matter of fact, I may care and be like, yo, am I giving off broke energy? Like, what's up with my energy? So I still may think about it. It's just, I don't care to a point where I can care about something and not let it impact how I see myself. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to lose confidence in myself because somebody else says something about it. But hey, if I'm dressing and Maya's like, yo, I don't like that outfit. Yeah, I care. Like, where you don't like this outfit? I care to where I'm going to think about, should I change it or should I keep it on? And then I'll make a decision. But why wouldn't I care? If somebody's trying to help me and give me some good advice or whatever else, why would I not care? So I get there's a balance to it. True belief is knowing. I don't even know if I would say true belief is knowing. I just think that belief and knowing are two different things. I think a lot of people use the word belief. They use the words interchangeably. But I do not think that they are the same thing. They're just two totally different things. Warm is not the same as hot. Cold is not the same as mild. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just two different things. Two totally different things, in my opinion. They argue over what they think, not what they know. Uncle Brother, it's difficult to leave complete thoughts within a limited amount of characters. Your point is correct, though. You have to use your own discernment to balance your level of care. 100%. We're on the same page. All right, let's keep going with this. Bezro, it's play. It's a short time. Life is transient. Yeah, bro. Like, Bez, I'm with you. Let's have fun out here, bro. This is play. This is short time. Let's have fun and let's make an impact. And I guess it's what makes something fun to us? What makes something enjoyable? Some people may choose to have lives that are just full of entertainment and fun. Cool, to each their own. Others may want to have families. Maybe that's their version of fun. Others may want to be fitness junkies. Cool. I mean, I don't know. So everybody is given free will to do whatever they want. But when we talk about politics, a lot of the conversation is based around us doing well and things being beneficial for people. So that's why the conversation then gets to the points that we're making. If we just look at it like everybody can do what they want to do, then really no point in having any conversation, I guess. Just do what you do. But if I tell my parents that I want to be successful, that I want to go to the NFL, or that I want to get into this type of school, then I have to care about the advice that they're giving me. Okay, this is what you have to do. You got to make sure that you're working out more than everybody else. You got to make sure you're studying more than everybody else. Of course I care about those things, because based on the things that I want out of life, then I'm going to prioritize different things. So that's how I look at it. What's the definition of both? So the definition of belief, how I would look at belief is that you think something is true or not. You think something is true or not. Knowing is a fact, but I guess it can go in a bunch of different ways, because if I sat here and said that I know, what are some things that I've said before? That I know I'm the best player on the football field. I know I'm the best player. I don't care what anybody says. I'm the best player out here. I know it. But Peyton Manning out here, then, I mean, it's good for me to think that I know it, or it's good for me to in my mind, to trick my mind into knowing it and to convince myself that I know it. But I wouldn't bet all my money on it to say, like, yo, I'm the best. And, to each their own, whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. I actually think that's when we talked about Elon Musk yesterday, I think that those are some of the things that drive Elon Musk. People that I think he has a radical knowing in his mind that he can do anything in this world. I think Elon Musk knows that he can accomplish anything in this world. Now, will he accomplish anything in this world? Can he accomplish anything in this world? Some people will say, well, no, nobody can accomplish anything in this world. But I bet you Elon's going to accomplish, with Elon's mindset, he's going to accomplish much more than somebody who doesn't think that they can accomplish anything in this world. So that's how I look at it. Maya the illest. Yeah. Uncle Brother wrote, agreed, Levi and Dak. It's a fine line, but balance is key. Yo, I love y'all, man. Yo, do me a favor, like real quick for the algorithm. All right, let's get, we've been on this show an hour and a half, and we gotten through 1 minute and 24 of the second video. All right, let's get back to the video real quick. Oh, man, it's going to be one of them ones, man. It's going to be one of them ones. All right, let me get out y'all way. Let's get back to the video.
Framework. I mean, this is sort of the boomerang that a few years, I sense in particular, was a reaction to George Floyd. It was sort of a reaction, sort of in that sort of COVID framework. I mean, this is sort of the boomerang that really exposes it at a whole nother level.
Yeah, I think that COVID fucked us up. Yeah. I think that when we had that pandemic and was inside for a little while, I think that some of us lost our fucking mind. And I think, again, Gavin, I just think it's sadness. We're sad. We don't understand what's going on with our government. Our government is supposed to be boring. You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to turn on the TV every day and see child molesters and felons and shit in our government. We're supposed to be like, those are the most boring motherfuckers, and we don't give a like no one. Everyone's frustrated because now this is happening and we never understood the system. I'm on tour. I've been going to these little small towns, and when I talk to people, you know what they say, Gavin? Does it really matter who's going to win? That's what they think. You know why? Because they're regular people that go to work every day. They go to work every day. They take care of their kids. They do their fun shit, and they don't want to be involved in this bullshit. They want to just be able to pay their rent. They want to be able to take care of their kids. They want to be able to pay their taxes and be fucking Americans. Nobody wants to have to deal with this shit. They don't know what to do. They don't know who's telling the truth. Because in some towns, they don't get the news outlets that we get in California and New York. They get that Fox shit, that motherfuckers. And if you sitting there listening to, my aunt is an educated woman, but I had to tell her, what the fuck are you listening to?
So just to be clear, Fox is the BS, and CNN, ABC, MSNBC, CBS, all of those other stations, all the liberal leaning platforms, that's where you get your real news from. Just to let y'all know, Fox is the BS. But all the other stuff, y'all good with. They're telling nothing but truth.
This is bullshit. Get the fuck out of Memphis. Like there's shit going on right now. Like you're
Get out of Memphis. You're in a small town. You don't know anything. You got to come to California. Come to California with Gavin Newsom, where everybody's leaving, where they lose millions of dollars, California is doing horrendous. And she's telling people to get out of Memphis and celebrating the fact that she's in Cali, talking to the California governor that has run California into the ground.
I heard a woman in Florida, she literally said this to me, Gavin, I'm going to take my son out of my will if he doesn't vote for Trump, because Trump is definitely for women. And I said, are you talking about the ones he raped, or are you talking about the ones that he calls ugly and fat? Which one are you talking about, ma'am? I said, the fact that you think you would trust your daughter with that piece of shit. One thing that I'm really good at as a comedian is reading people.
Yo, look at Jason with my face. What do y'all think about that, man? What do y'all think about that? I think we could probably just leave that there. I think we could probably just leave that there. Oh my, see, never mind. Let me not react to that. Okay. And I saw your comment. Elon talks about how he takes risks and leaps out into the unknown, often when doing the new things in this book. Faith, belief, crucial in my opinion. I agree. Vons wrote, she's speaking facts. Vons, let me ask you this, if it's okay. What about what she just said? Like, which things did you think that were facts that she was saying? Because I thought that certain things, and I think I may have mentioned, I think I may have like said it under my breath. Or I think y'all may have heard it. But there's certain things that I think she made one statement. I can't even recall it right now. That I said that I agree with. But in my opinion, she's part of the problem. In my opinion, she's part of the problem, because and I think we have to understand who she's talking to. She's talking to a Democratic governor of California. So what she's saying is that this is a Republican issue. Republicans have been bad to black people. Republicans have been all these things to black people. Republicans are the reason why the country's in this position. We've had 12 out of the last 16 years Democratic leadership. Gavin Newsom was one of the people that they were pushing to run for president. Meanwhile, he hasn't even done a great job in California. Uncle Brother wrote, she sounds so educated. Yeah, exactly, right? Levi wrote, she's adopted the attitude of knowing what's best for everyone by the sounds of it. And that's the same thing that you hear a lot of Democrats, especially after the election. They talk as if they know what's best for people and that people voted against their interests. No, people voted for their interests. They're just not the same interest as yours. She added emotions to politics. I agree. I mean, I get out of Memphis too, but I ain't going to no damn Cali. Well, that's the point. Get out of Memphis. Get out of Memphis and go to Cali. Vons wrote, she's talking facts. So that's the second time Vons wrote, she's talking facts. Vons, I'm just asking for what part of what she said are you saying is a fact? Everything. Okay, so Vons said everything that she said is a fact. I disagree, but, that's all good. California has collected billions upon billions of dollars to spend on the homeless problem. In the meantime, Skid Row has grown to the size of major cities deserving of its own zip code. All right, so that's that video. We won't spend too much more time on that. I'm actually going to pivot a little bit because obviously we're probably not going to be able to get to everything. Was going to go to the United Healthcare CEO. Let me actually go to this. Let's go to this Barack video, and then we're going to go to Scott Jennings. So let's go. What is that on X? Let me pull up this Barack video. Where's Barack at? All right, we got Barack right here. Let's take a look at this video, and you guys give me your thoughts.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in a permanent grip on power, either by actively suppressing votes or politicizing the armed forces or using the judiciary, the criminal justice system to go after opponents. And in those circumstances, pluralism does not call for us to just stand back and say, well, I'm not sure that's okay. In those circumstances, a line has been crossed, and we have to stand firm.
Barack Obama is diminishing his value, like a lot of Democrats are diminishing their value. Listen to the things that he says about, and clearly he's talking about Republicans and Donald Trump doing a lot of these things.
Or politicizing the armed forces or using the judiciary, the criminal justice system to go after opponents.
Politicizing the armed forces and using the judicial system to go against opponents. Barack Obama, do you think we're dumb? Like, do you think we're dumb? That is exactly what's happening to Trump. If Trump wasn't running for president, he wouldn't have had all these indictments against him. If Trump wasn't just a hated Republican by a lot of the Democrats, he wouldn't have all these things against him. It's the same thing that Joe Biden came out. Joe Biden, what we reviewed yesterday, came out and said that the justice system was treating Hunter Biden unfairly. That is Joe Biden's Department of Justice. So if Joe Biden's Department of Justice is treating Hunter Biden unfairly, how do we think they're treating Donald Trump? This is why Democrats lose so much credibility, in my opinion. And Barack Obama is just completely out of touch with a lot of these things that he's mentioning. He's accusing the Republicans of doing exactly what the people believe that his party has been doing. Like, when you talk about politicizing the government, what about politicizing Mark Zuckerberg's Meta platforms? So y'all not only politicized the government, but you actually provided censorship. You told the Biden and Harris administration, told Mark Zuckerberg they had to censor people on his platforms that spoke out in 2020 about certain things that did not align with the things that were being presented at the time that the government was presenting. And a lot of those same things, like, oh, this thing came from a lab. What is it now just accepted? It's accepted that that's exactly what was true. But those same things that were being said at the time, the Biden-Harris administration was putting pressure on Mark Zuckerberg to censor. So what is Barack Obama talking about? Barack Obama is becoming that hypocritical politician that a lot of us used to give him a pass for. A lot of us used to give Barack a pass. Barack dropped more bombs than any other president. In the Middle East, he dropped more bombs on people, I believe, in the Middle East, and he killed Gaddafi. He deported more migrants than any other president. He believed in the wall, but then tried to go against it when Trump was pushing the wall. Everything is hypocritical. And people are starting to see it. Barack Obama should have just, he could have, I'm not going to say what he should have done. He could have just stayed out the way, and people wouldn't have realized all this BS that he's spewing. People wouldn't, if he didn't come out and say that black men, y'all just ain't voting for Kamala because she's a woman. He could have just stayed out of the way, and we would have held him in still probably the highest regards. But now people are just seeing him as just another politician that will say anything, do anything in order to push the agenda that he's aligned with. That's it. That's it. Oh my God, y'all got some funny comments. Hold on. Whoa, Obama's looking thin. I haven't seen him for a while. That's beautiful. Some people have fragile egos, and what you just said is key. Confidence. Yeah, confident. When you're confident, you don't mind people criticizing you. Like, yo, it's not that personal. It's like what football coaches used to say. I'm criticizing the person. I'm not criticizing the person. I'm criticizing the player, or I'm criticizing how you're playing, not the play. You get what I'm saying. Obama using Ozempic. Oh man, ha ha ha. No, poor guy. Cujo. Hey yo. Wow, he looks stressed. Politics is a dirty business. I'm like, why he looks stressed? Politics is a dirty bit, or politics is not serving him. And then Urs wrote, haha, politics is a dirty business. Gas, not Obama. People not feeling, Barack, I wish somebody would tell him, Barack, just chill, bro. You don't have to do this. You don't have to say all these things. Like, you're ruining your reputation. Uncle Brother wrote, Democrats are experts at projection, busy pointing fingers of blame at others, all while three are pointing right back at them. That's a fact. That is a fact. If Ursi can have a blue wrench next to his name, can I have blue money bags? Thank you. Oh, Urs got the blue thing next to his name. I didn't see what Urs has next to his name. It doesn't show up on mine. Once you learn politics, nothing is genuine. Yeah, it's just a power play, right? That's all politics is a power play. So let's move on from this video. I want y'all to look at these Scott Jennings videos if I can find them on here. All right, here's one, but I want to show. All right, I want to show this one first. Yo, this may be my favorite person. Scott Jennings is turning into one of my favorite people in politics. When I look at these videos, y'all check it out.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about.
Yo, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, and you shouldn't be fans, but he's not a politician. He's just a commentator. So I'm allowed to be a fan of him, I guess, right? Let's maybe you shouldn't be fans of anybody. Just be free thinkers. But I find myself very much aligned with Scott Jennings and very entertained by him.
I don't want to be bringing back waterboarding. I don't want to be a country that tortures people, especially if we're the kind of country that's going to be using the military against our own citizens.
Well, wait,
this kind of thing concerns me.
What do you mean use against our own citizens?
I'm talking about
you
sending.
Said blue states behave. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about sending the military into blue states to make them behave. Getting Gavin Newsom under control, getting J.P. Pritzker under control.
What are you
making
talking
sure.
About? What do you mean, like sitting into the state capitol
to
commandeer the state government?
I hope not, but he's definitely talked about that. I don't know why you're acting like you've never heard
using the military to suppress, in the Black Lives Matter era, those protests in the street. He
was there himself.
Actually,
I just make sure I understand.
Trump talked about using the military to suppress what was happening with Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matter protest led to police stations being burned down. So clearly the police couldn't handle the issues. The police precincts were being burned down. And it led to people taking over cities. Like there were places that were being taken over. Taken over. Y'all should take a look at that Candace Owens documentary where she goes back to those areas that were taken over, speaks to the Black population about how their lives were messed up based on those things happening, all in the name of Black Lives Matter. Who is supposed to address an issue like that? If people have the ability to take over a city, we're more worried about using the military to get the city back to the United States compared to like we're more upset about them with that more than upset about the people who are actually taking over the cities, where people are getting killed in these areas where they just said like, yo, the people are taking control of those now, where it became a purge in a lot of these cities or a lot of these areas that they were taking over. That's what we're okay with. And this is the same mindset that I see a lot of Democrats discussing, and I think it's going to come up, if not in this video, but in the next video, where Democrats never have a solution, or in the instances that I'm going to talk about. It's like, oh, you're going to use the military to address these Black Lives Matter protests? Ma'am, they've taken over cities. So you don't have a solution. Like, what's your solution to get the area back under control? What's your solution if this group of people took over this city and now they're saying they're the governing party in that area? They got their flags out, letting them know, hey, this is newly conquered land. What is your solution? Rather than just criticizing what the other side offers What is your solution? It's the same thing with the migrant crisis. Everybody saying you're going to use the military to go into these cities and deport people. You can't do that. You can't. What is your solution? Matter of fact, this is a problem that your people created or escalated at an extremely higher rate than previous presidents. So you created the problem, but don't have a solution to the problem. But all you have is criticism for what the other party is suggesting. And you're using the same hyperbolic language that Donald Trump uses, acting like they're turning the military on U.S. citizens. No, the military is being turned on illegal immigrants. Those are not American citizens. Let's keep going.
Your position that you believe Donald Trump is going to use the military to set up effectively like coups in state capitals of states that he didn't win?
I think you're taking it a step or two.
No, she said make blue states behave, and she also said round up immigrants. That's not true. Well, it's deport illegal immigrants.
Scott,
I think you just need to be a
I
little
don't know
precise
why you're
about
acting.
these attacks.
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry.
Hold on. I mean, look. I think you're right. Let's be precise. Trump has wanted to use the military to do.
When you argue certain points that just don't make sense, it makes you look less intelligent. And I think that's the position that a lot of Democrats are in right now. I do not think that these people are unintelligent. I do not think that they're ignorant. I think that they're a bit out of touch. I think that they're choosing to defend the wrong things. But when you have to defend some of the actions and behaviors of the Democratic Party right now, you're going to look silly. You're just going to look silly. It is what it is. When you have to sit here and say that when you're showing how honorable Biden is by saying that nobody's above the law. Hold on. I hate sneezing. All right. When you're standing on, look at, man, when you're standing on the political, when you're standing on Biden is an honorable person, the Democrats are principled. Look at how they look at this. Biden has his son that is getting indicted, that just pled guilty, and he's still not going to pardon him because that's what the Democrats represent, standing behind our government, standing behind the law, and honoring the fact that no one person is above the law. Time after time saying that he's not going to pardon his son for these reasons. But then when he does pardon his son, now Democrats who have to support and get behind and validate this and rationalize it look silly. You look silly. And that's what Charlemagne was saying to Whoopi Goldberg. You look silly. Whoopi Goldberg sitting here saying, well, I stopped saying that he lied. I don't want us to say that he lied. Whoopi Goldberg told her co-host to stop saying that Biden lied. Let me say, she did. Maybe people will say, well, she didn't tell her that. She pretty much tried to shut her up. Whoopi Goldberg pretty much runs that panel. Whoopi Goldberg put her foot down and said, I stopped calling it a lie. As if to say, stop saying that Biden lied. He lied. It is what it is. Now y'all look so silly trying to justify the actions of these people that just continuously contradict themselves, and you just look silly. Trying to defend somebody in Joe Biden who said, you ain't black unless you vote for me. You look silly. You look silly. Like that's a little, if Trump said that, we'd be saying, oh, that's racist. That's racist. He said black jobs. He said black jobs. But when Biden says you ain't black if you don't vote for me, stop asking me questions. Yeah. When he says that, oh, well, Biden's always said, certain things. He doesn't really mean it. I mean, he's always just kind of said certain stuff. He just
do things domestically that
I'm sorry.
Hold on. I mean, look. I think you're right. Let's be precise. Trump has wanted to use the military to do things domestically that actually the military is not allowed to do. I think that's the point that she's making.
Like what?
Like deport illegal immigrants. That is actually not a function of the military.
The military can absolutely be used to work with local officials, to provide military resources, but working with other parts of the federal government and local officials. We already send the National Guard to the border.
Not against the will of the local officials or the will of the state government.
Yes.
We have a federalist government
yes, we
here.
can.
The military is not supposed to take up arms against American citizens.
They're
Period.
not. You keep
And
saying
so-
that. This is about illegal immigration. You all keep saying American citizens.
Well,
It's
how do
about
we
illegal
know whether
immigration.
the
We did
people are
not-
illegal
you
or
just
not?
said he
Well,
wasn't-
when
we
have,
know after they're shot.
we have 1.6.
We know after they die.
We have.
Initially, when I heard him speaking, I was listening to this clip in the shower and I wasn't watching the video. And when I was listening to it, I was like, here goes another, because I saw the panel. And then when I kind of just looked to see who was talking, and then I stopped looking at it. And I was like, here goes another one of these emasculated black men on CNN. As I'm looking at it now, I see it as a little bit of a different, or let me say no. Initially, I said, here goes another one of these feminized men. Now I would say emasculated. What he just tried to say, like, listen to what he just said again, because I'm not sure that you guys caught it. I'm gonna let y'all listen to what he just said.
Yes.
The military is not supposed to take up arms against American citizens.
They're
Period.
not. You keep
And
saying
so-
that. This is about illegal immigration. You all keep saying American citizens.
Well,
it's
how do
about
we
illegal
know whether
immigration.
the
We did
people are
not-
illegal
you
or
just
not?
said he
Well,
wasn't-
when
we know after they're shot.
We have 1.6.
We know after they die.
That's
How do you know? He makes this statement that we're not supposed to take up arms. The military is not supposed to take up arms against American citizens. When has Trump said that he's taking up arms against American citizens? It's against the illegal migrants that y'all put in these cities where the American citizens are complaining about them. So he says taking up arms because this is the narrative that they're trying to create. They're trying to get you emotionally invested into believing that Donald Trump's going to use the military to shoot American citizens. If the governments, these Democratic governors and Democratic mayors would work with Donald Trump's and work with the military, obviously that's going to make it as safe of a deportation for a lot of these migrants that are illegally here as possible. But then what he says is, well, how do you even know who's a migrant, who's an illegal migrant, and who's not? What would be your solution? If you can't tell who's an illegal migrant and who's not, then what's your solution? Just leave them all there? Just leave everybody. You can't tell who's who. Don't worry about it. We can't tell who shot this kid, so therefore we won't even investigate it. What is your solution? They've created the problem, escalated the problem to what it's gone to now. Wanted all these sanctuary cities, wanted to incentivize migrants coming here. Incentivize. What's the solution now when even the Democrats in a lot of these cities are saying that this is a problem? The people in the city are saying it's a problem. What is the solution? This is why people in Chicago scream at Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, a black mayor, because they're like, yo, what are y'all doing? You're ruining this city that was already experiencing problems, already didn't have the infrastructure to take care of and support the people that live here. Kids can't read. Now you're bringing in hundreds of thousands of migrants without vetting any of them. And what does he say when he finishes off? He says, oh, you can't tell who's who. So what are you going to tell after you shoot them, after they're dead? Everybody accuses Trump of using hyperbolic language. Listen to what he's saying. So now Trump wants to bring the military in to shoot people, and then we'll let God sort them out when they're dead. That's what this guy's saying. Ridiculous.
The people are illegal or not?
Well, when we
know
have,
after they're shot.
We have 1.6.
We know after they die.
We
That's
have
not the point.
1.6 million people in this country
Scott,
who've
you're
already
on to
received
illegal immigration.
deportation
That's not
orders
the
from
point.
courts. They are
Hold
here
on.
illegally.
No, it's always back to illegal immigration with people who support Donald Trump. It's always back to illegal immigration.
People
But
are pissed about
that's not the only thing that we're talking about here. We're talking about the American people. We're talking about taking up arms against them with a military that's supposed to be protecting them.
This is not right. You cannot say Donald Trump is sending the military to
We
round
didn't
up.
say
That's what
he's
he
sending.
said.
That is what he
That's
is
what he
saying,
said.
Scott.
They're cutting him off. And Donald Trump is not saying he's sending in the military to attack American citizens. That's what they're saying. That's not what Donald Trump has said.
That's what I'm saying.
Totally false.
He said that.
Totally false.
That's what he said.
Scott, Trump.
We're
Trump
in the
has-
fever swamps, Abby.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
What is your dispute here? I'm not even really
Because they're
understanding
saying that he's sending the military to shoot or round up American citizens. Not
We did not
true.
say shoot.
I think
We did not say shoot. We just heard the black man say shoot. and then we'll figure it out who they are when they're dead.
The issue,
You said
Scott,
he just said take up arms.
Scott, why are you acting like Donald Trump has no
Elliot here? I mean,
look, I did say take up arms
Hold on,
because when you
Solomon.
send
I did say take up arms. Got a black woman leading the conversation, a white woman arguing so strongly for points that I don't even know why she's trying to make, and you got this emasculated black man making shit up. I don't know what.
the army in, that's what they're there for.
Elliot.
I'm sorry. Come on. You cannot listen to that conversation and say that they're making sense and he's not. All these people at the table, and Scott Jennings is the only person in that conversation that made sense in that exchange. She's saying, who said anything about shooting people? Ma'am, he just said something about shooting people. Let me hold on. Because Vons wrote something that made me think about another video. So Vons wrote, Biden is sick, and they still let him run both. Both parties are effed. This is my problem with Democrats. I'm going to use Von's statement to say this is my problem with Democrats. And Devon claims he's an independent. Cool. You still vote Democrat all the time. You still only support Democrats. You're still a super liberal. Okay. But you're independent. Cool. Vons wrote, Biden is sick and they still let him run. Both parties are effed. Why can Democrats and people that support the Democratic Party never just criticize the Democrats? Why do they always have to involve the Republicans? What does Biden being sick and Biden's cognitive capabilities declining, what does that have to do with the Republicans? That is something that you should address with your party. Biden is not there. Your party lied to you. Mainstream media lied to you and told you that he's capable of running, and you would have voted for him. So why do you even have to involve and say both parties are effed? No, the Democrats are effed. The Democrats are effed. As soon as the vote doesn't go the Democrats' way, they say both parties are effed. No, actually, it was a pretty overwhelming win when you look at the Electoral College, and a lot of people are rocking with Trump, brother. A lot of people are rocking with Trump. A lot of people are excited about the things to come. And a lot of people who voted for Kamala Harris, who are moderates, I even believe that they are optimistic about the things that Trump will bring to the table. When I open up, let me see how let me open up my Robinhood. Yeah, I'd say that a lot of people are happy that Donald Trump won. And if they're not happy, they're optimistic, because ultimately people are still going to go to their selfish nature. So we'll have this conversation 4 years from now, and I'm interested to see how people are responding. Because initially it was just about, Trump's going to take away my Social Security. Okay. And I've had conversations with different people in this chat about worrying about their Social Security or their parents' Social Security being taken away. Okay, so that Social Security that was being taken away, did you look at your 401k? What if you have to pay less in taxes? Because Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to stop a lot of this excessive spending that's being used. What if we now stop these wars and no longer have to pay all these taxes because we'd be funding all these wars in other countries that have nothing to do with us? What if we're spending less money with that? So when we're trying to support the Democrats and think of a reason to support them, we can sit here and say, yeah, it's about money because he's taking away my Social Security. But then we'll never give Trump the credit when he impacts your financial situation in a positive way. It's just all, if you're a Giants fan, you're a Giants fan. They can do no wrong. If you're a Cowboys fan, you're a Cowboys fan. They're going to win the Super Bowl every year. That's what's happening, bro. How do you, this statement, Biden is sick and they still let him run, both parties are F. No, brother, talk about your party. Talk about Biden. Talk about how they lied to you. Talk about how they did this scheme to avoid a primary so that you guys could elect whoever it is that you wanted to elect. And you being an independent, you can't vote in the primary anyway, so I guess you wouldn't have had an impact anyway. But for all the Democrats that could have voted in the Democrat, because I believe that you have to be a part of the Democratic Party to vote for the candidate in the primary. So be mad at the Democrats. Like Democrats can never just call out Democrats. It's the same thing with the pardons. They can never say, yeah, I don't agree with Joe Biden pardon. It's well, Trump pardoned these people. Levi wrote, these people have watched the Civil War too many times. Actually, you know what though? The DOD did authorize legal force against citizens about 2 weeks before Election Day. Perhaps they were anticipating another BLM style riot or worse. If people are bugging out like a BLM style, bring the military in. Bring them in. Bring them in. And I'm sure a lot of the people see, we look at it from a privileged standpoint in most cases where our cities, our homes, our businesses were not ruined. Let you have had a business in a particular area that Black Lives Matter took over, maybe destroyed your business, and let's see how you feel about that. Let's see if you want the military to come in and shut down some of those things before they destroy the blood, sweat, and tears that your family has put into your family business. Then let's see how you feel about it. He probably did say that Trump be saying wild stuff. Stop complaining, get smarter. That's good, great advice, Queez. What up, y'all? New subscriber. Shout out to the new subscriber. Oh yeah, and make sure we got 15,000 people in the building. Please make sure that you like. That's gonna help the algorithm. Anthony's too real. Appreciate it. We need as many real people in the building as possible. So we appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Let's listen to this other video before we get to Biden, because there's something about Biden that I gotta show for y'all. Matter of fact, we'll go Biden first. This is what we're gonna do. Hold on, we're gonna pivot a little bit. We'll go Biden. I'm gonna show y'all this Biden video first. And Biden just gives me. Shout out to Uncle Joe. Sleepy Joe! Y'all can't say Trump is not legendary with these names. Look at the screen. Sleepy Joe. All right, so I'm gonna need y'all to keep me on schedule. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at this video, another angle of this video. We're gonna listen to Joe Scarborough talk about Biden, and then we're gonna go back to another Scott Jennings clip. So I need y'all to keep me on point. Give Trump certain it's like maybe it's like me with Kendrick. It's hard for me to give Kendrick credit. I'm being honest. So maybe that's the same type of situation, but that's not politics. You feel me? That's just, I'm allowed to have an opinion more emotionally based when we're talking about music, but we cannot have that understanding when it comes to politics. You feel me? So just look at this. President Biden joins leaders at the Lobito Corridor Trans-Africa Summit in Lobito, Angola. So here you have somebody, Joe Biden's obviously representing the United States. And for all the blackity blacks, where's all the blackity blacks? The I'm voting for everybody black, rooting for everybody black. Where are all y'all at? How do y'all feel about Joe Biden falling asleep in this Trans-Africa Summit in Angola? How do y'all feel about that? If Trump fell asleep, we'd be saying he's so disrespectful to these Africans. He said S-hole countries. Y'all know what would happen. Joe Biden falls asleep. I haven't even heard anything on MSNBC and a lot of these mainstream stations besides Fox, of course.
Tanzania views the Lobito Corridor as an integral part of a broader strategy to enhance connectivity in Africa. We also appreciate the fact that the implementation of the project will provide important opportunities for Africa's development in sectors such as agriculture.
Vons, he's sick. Hold on. See, this is why we need Democrats in the building in these conversations. Vons, I've been saying in the group chat that you are in with me. I've been saying on this show for over 2 years now. And other people have been saying it. Queen's been saying it in the group chat. Other people have been saying it. I don't know if Bez's been saying it. Other people have been saying it. Joe Biden's cognitive functions have declined and he has no business running for office, running for re-election. He probably realistically has no business being the president right now, but I don't think anybody in this chat really believes that Joe Biden is making significant decisions. I think that Joe Biden, he may have made the Hunter Biden decision, stuff like that, but nobody on Joe Biden's team really thinks that he's capable of making these decisions. These are other people in the background. Now, Joe Biden still has a certain level of power because he has the leverage to now say, like, yo, if y'all don't, I'll go up there and I'll say something that y'all may not like. So therefore, they still got to work with him. But come on now. Come on now. Now it's, oh, Joe Biden's sick. We should show him some love, show him some grace. Come on, bro. This was the same person that you would have voted for, whether you saw him sleeping on this video, whether you saw him falling down, barely able to lick an ice cream cone, all of these different things. He wasn't sick. You would have still voted for him. But now it's sick. Let's show some compassion for him. Like, knock it off, bro. This is my exact point. This is what y'all do. Now Vons is saying neurological disorders. Vons, I've been saying this for 2 years. You weren't agreeing with it when I said it 2 years ago. What has changed in his behavior? Joe Biden had the stiff walk where your arms are next to your body. You know how older people start walking. He had that walk for the last 2-3 years. Joe Biden has been out of it. Listen to his speeches. Listen to him forget. Like, how have y'all been paying? How, as a Democrat, this is the thing. Democrats, y'all vote for these people and don't even pay attention to them. I looked at, I wasn't even paying attention to a lot of Joe Biden's speeches, his state of addresses. I didn't even watch any of those stuff. I can recall one speech he made to Howard where I'm just sitting here like, yo, clearly this guy ain't got it. And all of y'all thought that going into that first debate with Trump, oh, he's at his best. He's sharp as a tack. All this other stuff that people were saying. And then right after that debate, now it's like, oh, nah, something's wrong with Joe Biden. Come on, bro. Like we got to keep it real here. We got to keep it real.
Renewable energy, digital transformation, trade and logistics along the corridor. Tanzania is already undertaking internal consultations aiming at aligning this project with national priorities and other bilateral and regional commitments. In closing,
Oh man. Vons. All right, Anthony's wrote, because he wasn't well enough to run the country, but they let him sign all this stuff into play. Right. He's not well enough. He's sick, Vons, but I don't hear you protesting him greenlighting Ukraine sending missiles, U.S. missiles to Russia. I don't hear you saying, hey, he shouldn't be involved in any of these talks because he's sick. But you give him that pass when he's falling asleep. Come on, bro. Knock it off. Thank you. Now Vons wrote, chill, I ain't vote. Vons, you ain't vote. All that spicy stuff you was talking in the group chat and you didn't vote. All right. I mean, all right. Anthony's wrote, I voted for him last time. I ain't know no better. Y'all, I did my research and voted for Trump this time. That's being real. What Anthony's just did, I don't understand why the majority of people can't do. What's wrong with, I voted for Barack Obama twice. And then I did my own research and I did not vote Democrat again. Matter of fact, I did what Vons did. The previous two elections, I did not vote. But my question for you, Vons, would be, why didn't you vote? I can tell you why I didn't vote. I was intentionally I wanted at the end of the election for the Democrats to see that I'm willing to take a step back. And I'm willing to y'all keep playing around with me. I'm willing to let this whole thing blow up. This whole party blow up, and I'll take my chances because voting for y'all, the black community's blown up. We haven't gotten any better. So now you're trying to convince me that the only way that things will get better is if I vote for the Democrats. Nah, I'm good. I'll take my chances, not vote, and we'll see what happens. And I'll let y'all at the end of the election have to go back and see why somebody who voted for Barack Obama twice did not vote in this election. And what is the show? Either Bill Lair or Dan Lair. I always get the show Messed Up. It's a show that my dad used to listen to. That show, I was listening to it the day after the election, the one that I did not vote with Hillary versus Trump. And the next day, all they were focusing on the people that typically vote Democrat that didn't. That's why I didn't. So my question is, and why? And I was no longer, but then I got to a certain point where it's like, nah, that's not enough. Me not voting is not enough. And the reason why is because I've always was uncomfortable just voting Republican. I'm gonna be honest. For me, it was taking the easier way out to not vote rather than to vote Republican. I guess I could have voted independent, but I didn't have any people at the time where I felt like it was significant, or maybe my mindset wasn't at that point. I was definitely voting for RFK Jr. this term if he was going to run as an independent. But once he rocked with Trump, I said, oh, nah. I was rocking with RFK because he was willing to stand on a lot of these stuff that was important to me. If Trump's already going to give him a platform before the election that's allowing him to speak on these things, that's promoting the things that are important to RFK, I'm giving it a chance. And still, you still feel bad. But I tell you what, and I'm telling you, when you go into the booth and and I had to check off that Trump box, that was a little bit of a, I feel amazing right now. I feel amazing. I feel amazing. And the reason why is because Joe Biden, Barack Obama, the Democrats have shown me that I made the right decision. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, wait, hold up. Queen said, Dak, you got the email from the Democrats? I sat out 2 elections and they sent me a text. Yo, I told you they pay attention. They pay attention. But let me ask you this, Vons, did you ever vote? Have you voted before? That's funny, man. F around and find out. Anthony sounds too close to Anthony is throwing me off. That's funny right there. All right, let's keep going. Matter of fact, we don't need to see any more of this. It's more of what you're seeing. But what I will show y'all is a different angle. Because a lot of people saying, like, maybe he wasn't, you know how you do the little trick in school? Oh, you know how you be like this in school, trying to act like you paying attention, you act like you up. And you really sometimes may think, yo, there's a lot of times I've been in class where I think my eyes are open. I think my eyes are open and I'm listening. But in all actuality, my eyes are closed. That's what Joe Biden's doing. So I got to show y'all I'm glad I left Von's comment up there. It fits well with this video. I got to show you.
But will also promote shared prosperity and inclusive growth across the region.
Sleepy Joe!
Aiming at aligning this project with national priorities and other bilateral and regional commitments.
Look at my man.
In closing,
yo, if he would have fell, like slipped, if that elbow slipped, see, that's the most dangerous business. You gotta watch that elbow. You gotta have a sturdy elbow. Keep it at 90 degrees. If that elbow's not at 90 degrees and it starts to slip out, that's when you get in trouble. That's when you get one of these and you start to like, whoa, you feel like you just woke up. All right, so we saw enough of that. I want to show y'all one more video that I was talking about with Joe Scarborough, if I can find it. All right, listen to this. Vons, this is why you believe, this video is why you believe that Joe Biden, why you're now just saying he was sick, as if he hasn't been behaving like this. But this is why you believed it, because of people like Joe Scarborough. Listen to this.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. And you start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And
this is the same person that went down. So Joe Scarborough, this is Morning Joe. Yes, this is the same person that after the election, who now Joe Scarborough, he's defending Fox News. When somebody on his show said something about Fox, they made like a comment about if you're too drunk for Fox. They were talking about Pete Hegseth. And they were saying how if you're too drunk for Fox News, then you're really too drunk, because to be too drunk for Fox is even drunker. Joe Scarborough and Mika came out after that and said, we know a lot of people at Fox that care about Pete Hegseth. Why are y'all trying to now be buddy-buddy with Trump? The same person that was manipulating y'all Democrats into thinking that Joe Biden was at his best. The same people then turned on him. And now that a lot of people are blaming him for the election. So it's like, yo, you can't believe anything that these people say. It just is what it is. We're going to get back to my man, Scott. I want y'all to see this other clip. So this is another clip of the same people, I believe. And this is what it really comes down to for me. I don't know if a lot of y'all can see the screen right now, but what it comes down to is exactly what Scott Jennings is about to say. And in my 6'9" voice, you got to let your... Damn, Scott's going to say it. If Scott says it, then maybe it'll embolden me to say it. I'm going to let Scott say it.
Because we have a weak America.
I'm going to let my man Scott say it. Scott got more courage than me. I'm going to let Scott say it. Hold on. Let's let Scott say it. Hold on. Listen to this.
Yeah, thank God we have a president-elect who's willing to say it. We've had Americans held hostage since October the 7th, and we've lacked a president that had the testicular fortitude to get our people back. This is outrageous that these Americans were taken and murdered, and we've basically stood back and given lip service to both sides, this and that. I want to hear it's wrong. And this is the wages of weakness of a weak president. All those things you just listed.
The testicular fortitude. Y'all know how 6ix9ine on the beginning of his song, like, yo, let your, I think it was the dude Shotty. He used to be screaming in the beginning of the tracks, like, yo, let your, dang, let him have. It's obviously, I don't want to say it in an inappropriate way, but when Scott Jennings says that Donald Trump has the testicular fortitude, what he's talking about is everything that we've been talking about. Everything that I say when I talk about the type of black men that they bring on CNN, the emasculated, when Gavin Newsom will just sit and just let Leslie just say all these type of things, the feminized and emasculated. They've been trying to feminize and emasculate men for a very long time, especially black men, in order to allow black women to run the household. So that way they would know that black men are still going to be on board with voting for whoever the Democrats have convinced the black women to vote for. It also plays a part in our relationships overseas. You think that when Biden says, Israel, stop, Hamas, stop, Zelensky, stop, Putin, please stop, do you think that the people across the world respect Joe Biden? No. But they know that Trump is really about that. They know, and we can sit back and say, nah, he's not with it. We've seen the videos. I almost want to show the video. Hold on. What's the guy? Hold on. Let me show this video with y'all. Oh, man. What's the guy? There's a black general. Black general tells story about Trump with what's not Hamas? What's the other group? What's the group that we used to talk about? Not ISIS. It was not Al-Qaeda, not them. It was the other group that people use. What's the name of the? It was another group. It was Wesley Hunt. All right, I got it right here. I got the story right here. So hold on. Listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on. Wesley Hunt. We're gonna look at this. Wesley Hunt. Sage Steele, Trump story. This is what I mean. Hold on. Do we have it here? I think we have it right here. No, I don't want it on Instagram. Hold on one second. Hold on. Give me a sec. Y'all act like it's Friday. Relax. Wesley Hunt story. Taliban, about Trump with the Taliban leaders. That's what it was, Taliban leaders. All right, listen to this story. Hold on. Where is it? All right, boom. Got it right here. They got all these people on these videos. I'm trying to just get the video. Hold on. All right, here we go. I got it right here. Let me just share the screen.
To that. President Trump wanted to get out of Afghanistan, but he wanted a conditions-based withdrawal, meaning that you do what we tell you to do, and then we will start pulling troops back slowly as long as you abide by our rules. It's President Trump and Mike Pompeo, and they are talking to Taliban leadership. in the room, and they had one translator in the room. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal. And translator translated. And he said, if you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you. And the translator goes, and Trump goes, tell him.
Yes.
Tell him what I said. Tell him what I said. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Got up and walked out the room.
Sure did.
Do you know for 18 months not a single American was killed in Afghanistan?
Sure did.
That's the definition of strength. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's
what I'm talking about. Just like Wesley said, that's what I'm talking about. Do you think that Biden's doing that? You thought that Kamala was going to do that? Come on now. Let's did we get through the rest of this?
It's because we have both sides, this and that. I want to hear it's wrong. And this is the wages of weakness of a weak president. All these things you just listed, it's because we have a weak America. And now we're going to have a strong America. And I think Donald Trump's going to have far better success. We had world at peace when he was president. We had a peace agreement in the Middle East. But when you take Americans hostage and you murder Americans, you better damn well know the President of the United States is going to do something about it. And we've not known that for 4 years. Yeah, thank God we have a president-elect.
Yo, I'm telling y'all, man, Trump going to bring this pride back. He going to bring, aren't y'all tired of being on like feeling like you on a loser team, bro? Like, come on, man. I don't know. He said, so Vons wrote, honestly, we need that strict foreign talk. Yeah, Vons. We need that strict foreign talk. MAGA Vons. All right, let's what's the next video that we got? All right, so all right, so we're gonna finish it off. This is a perfect video to finish it off with. Wow, we've been on for 2.5 hours. All right, so I'm just gonna play this video for y'all. It's not gonna be too long, but I do think it's important for us to share, and I do want to finish off with this because it is a positive message. Let me get that cued. All right, let me make sure y'all ain't looking at the stuff that I be liking on Instagram, my saved post. All right, take a look at this.
I was curled up in a ball in that bed. Goddamn, I'm about to cry. I was curled up in a ball, and I remember her coming over the top of me and being like, everything is gonna be okay. It was so hard for me to see because I'm staring at my 2-year-old. I'm staring at her belly. I had no sense of what's about to happen. I just vividly remember having a conversation with her, and she telling me I was gonna be okay, and she was rubbing my back. I stood up and I was like, I'm about to make something happen. I'm about to go do something. I don't know what it is, but whatever is calling me, whatever that voice is telling me to do, I'm about to do it. And I've listened to it before, and I'm in a position where I'm losing contracts. And when I say lost a contract, Shannon, that contract was worth, I think I had like $100,000 up on the contract. That's money.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, bro, what? I was like, all right, I ain't got to fight. Just give me $100,000.
Right.
In my mind. But like I said, God willingly, maybe 6 months after all of that happened, and like I said, I was sitting in the chair, I started doing food reviews. Wingstop reached out to me, and they gave me a contract that was worth the exact same amount that contract was worth for Bellator.
How important is it for you to find a woman because she was with you during the struggle? Because it's easy. This Keith Lee, a lot of women, hey, why the boy know he everything I've been looking for.
You ain't never
She
lied.
was there when you had nothing. And as you started to build, she's been right alongside you.
Absolutely.
How important is that for a man to find, or a woman, to find that person during the struggle?
That's everything, bro. Like, when you say nothing, it's that, I don't even think you understand, Shannon. When we first moved in together, so we was living with my brother at the time, like, see, he had the money. Once I took it serious and was like, I'm really devoted to this relationship, like I said, 2018, early 2019, we moved out and we got an apartment together. Or, I ain't even gonna say we got an apartment together. She got an apartment under her cousin's name.
Right.
She moved in, I moved in behind her. I wasn't paying no rent. I had no money.
Right.
I wasn't bringing no money in, no income. When I say that house got broken in, we was there we stayed in a lower apartment that was on the bottom floor. It was like right in front of, we was on Boulder Highway and Russell. If you from Vegas, you know that's the stroll. Like it get like that over there.
Yeah.
We saw somebody get shot in the front. When I say like literally outside of our window to where we had to, I opened the window, I saw her get shot in the stomach. I went and crawled in a closet just in case they kept shooting and stray bullets came in. We had a dog at the time, so it was me and her on the floor with our dog. Somebody broke into the house while I was like walking across the street to go get something from the gas station. Cause we was eating out the gas station. That's how we was eating our dinners. In the Roberto's, if you know Roberto's in Vegas, it's like a little burrito spot. We was eating Roberto's and sharing it. Somebody broke into the house. Somebody broke into our car maybe a week after that, and they left somebody's wallet on the floor. And I'm thinking, oh, I found the person who broke into the car. I go search the wallet. I find the ID. I'm walking around the complex asking everybody who this man was. I end up finding him. It was a guy who stayed in the complex. I walk up ready to fight. I take my shirt off. I'm running up to him. He got a gun on his hip. I'm like, I'm not thinking about none of that. He come tell me, he like, somebody broke into my house, into my car, took my wallet, put it in your car on purpose so you can come down here and do this. He was ready to blow my head off, Shannon. For her to be with me in that moment, it meant like, no matter what happens, she see me at my worst. Like, worst is understatement. She seen me to a point where like, financially, I was at my worst, physically, spiritually, mentally. No matter what happens with social media, with the money, I always know I got a dog with me. Like, I think it's a different feeling when you walk in a room with a blue nose and you know you got somebody protecting you.
They're gonna ride.
You got somebody that's gonna ride with you no matter what. It's like, I've already seen it. Like, I've seen it from the very beginning. Man, I owe my life to that woman.
Right.
I met my wife when I was.
Yo. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is, and you know what's so dope about this? And even my man Trav, you can see my man Trav wrote, fellas, there's still hope. There's definitely still hope. Why did I say there's definitely still hope, period. Hearing these type of stories, I don't think that, a lot of times, because everybody wants to feel important, right? Everybody wants to feel that they're helping to contribute to something greater, right? I think a lot of people want to feel that. I'm not going to say everybody. And I'm going to try to relate a few things that I don't know at the end of the day. Like, I'm going to try to connect a few dots. I don't know if by the time I'm done saying this, if it's going to make sense, but it's just what I'm thinking. So I'll share it with y'all. Going back to that Harrison Butker, the kicker from the Chiefs, when he was giving that speech to the school, and he was saying how women typically right now only see or only get a pat on the back, only get recognition, and only get seen as successful as if they're climbing some type of corporate ladder, being their own boss, CEO, all those type of things. I remember putting out a video, maybe like a year, or maybe a little less than that ago, where it was saying that I don't think that women really understand the power that they have in their feminine being, like when they're in that feminine state with a man. I do not think that women understand how significant the role that they play, how that can completely change how a man looks at himself, which is going to obviously change how that man sees the world, the different opportunities, his perspective on things. It's going to empower that man. And I don't think a lot of women feel that way. And there's a lot of people that I listen to on here. Hold on, let me move this for a sec. There's a lot of people that I listen to where they'll have the standpoint and say, like, I don't need a woman to inspire me. Like, I'm inspired by my purpose, all this other stuff. Cool. That's cool. To each their own. But I'm saying, from my perspective, exactly what he said. Women, for the exact reasons, and this is, I'm connecting a lot of dots here, so stay with me. For the exact reasons why when I have conversations with women in my life, and I say that you're only looking at it from one standpoint. Like, I'm having a conversation with you, but you're just defending this person that you like or this person that you're related to just because, like, you will not let me say anything critical about that. That is how women look out for the people that they love and care about. You see how women will protect their kids. That's why I even said yesterday with Joe Biden pardoning his kids, and so many men saying, oh, I would have pardoned my kid too. I would have pardoned my kid. Where I'm looking at it like, damn, what type of men are these? Like, men are, you teach me to stand on principles. You teach me to stand on all these things. But then when it comes down to I'm just going to pardon him. You know, it's my kid, so I love him. And everybody accepted it. And everybody's just saying that they would have done it. I'm telling y'all right now, I don't know if I would have done that. Now, I don't have any kids also. But I don't know. I don't know if I would have wanted to do that. And for the same reasons that Joe Biden did not want to do it, or the reasons that he expressed. And I think that because we've gone to such a feminized society where, let's just be real, a woman who's president, she's pardoning her son or daughter, especially that son probably, no matter what. It doesn't matter. I'm pardoning my son. I'm doing whatever to take care of my kid, period. That's how women move. Say it again, louder. That's how women move. That's how women move. Now, I'm not saying that that's wrong. What I'm saying is that both energies are needed in different situations. So when it comes to a situation that he's describing, when he said, when you walk in a room and you got that blue nose by you, a blue nose pit, when you walk in a room and you're walking through life with a woman that appreciates you and values you and pours into you so much with her actions, not just her words, but with her actions. And you know that, that woman thinks that I'm the coolest person in the world. That woman thinks that I'm smart. That woman thinks that I'm strong. That woman thinks men don't need any validation from anybody else to do anything, to run through a wall, to go do a dangerous job, to take care of that woman and their family. That is the power that a woman has. Why do we think that you have all these situations like the Trojan War, where Helen of Troy is nobody, King Priam in the Trojan War, King Priam, when that tremendous Greek army came with Agamemnon and Achilles, and they came over there with Odysseus, they couldn't do anything with those tall walls that those Trojans had. But what did they use? And what caused the entire war? A woman. One of the princes, he wanted to sleep with one of the king's wives, Agamemnon's brother's wife, and that's what caused that entire war. Look at a chessboard. When women, how the queen can move. Women, I just wish that women could realize how powerful and how much they can contribute to the overall success of the family just by the feminine things that they do and provide to a man that they really care about and to a man that earns it, And I think that a lot of women do that. And we see it a lot of times where the men are not necessarily in a position to where they've earned maybe a woman to treat them that way. And when I say earned it, a lot of times they just don't learn that behavior. They don't learn how to be leaders. They don't learn how to and providers. Got to learn it on their own. Now, we still got to hold them accountable. Hold on. It said my audio device was unplugged. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. You can still hear me? It disconnected this thing. Oh, this audio thing died. All right, so y'all just hearing me through the regular mic. It's all good. But I don't think that most people realize that and make that connection. I don't think that most people realize that. A woman, why y'all think men flip out? Why y'all think you see these rage crimes where a woman hurts a man, cheats on him, does whatever else, and that man completely loses it? That's the power that a woman has. So I don't know. And I think that, and the reason why I'm highlighting it and saying that that's the power, because it's not like a lot of people will look at, oh, you want me to be a housewife? You just want me to just sit home and do nothing? No, I'm empowering you. Like, this is my kids, my family. Like, this is the most important role. I'm not gonna have you go out here. If I can, I'm not saying that the woman can't work. I'm not saying this. I'm just making an example. I don't want you having to go out in this world and do the same things that I have to do, deal with all these people, Now, if you want to, cool. But I don't want you to want to, because you don't get the same level of validation by raising a family that you do by climbing the corporate ladder. If you want to do that, cool. But we cannot deny the fact that our culture has convinced us to ignore having kids, to ignore having a family, to prioritize all the other things, the girls' trips, the chasing the corporate ladder, climbing the corporate ladder, becoming our own entrepreneur, all of these different things. You could do all those things. I'm not saying that you can't, but I think that if women really understood the meaning and the contribution and the empowering that they could do in a relationship, I think that they would embrace the role more. So maybe more men, maybe we need to highlight that and acknowledge that in them and let them know, like, hey, this is the reason why, you know, we need you to move like this, or this is the reason why if we want our family to be successful, it just makes more sense for me to, when somebody breaks in the house, to be the one to hey, everything good. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense for me to address that. There's certain things that just make sense, and certain things based on the roles that we play, the people that we are, our genetic makeup, our biological, all these different things, they give us the ability to do different things. So I'm going off on a tangent. I said I was going to try to connect a whole lot of dots, but that's the point that I wanted to make. Women, y'all are crucial. They always, what's the saying? Behind every man. I don't know whether it's behind, I don't know whether, but there is no battery that can be placed in a man's back like that of a woman. Let me say that. There is no, that's like having one of them, you know how they used to have those old Duracell commercials? Or what's it's Energizer with the bunny? Whatever. How do you say it? Have like, no, these are the regular batteries, but these are the super batteries. These are the ones that you won't have to. A woman, that is that super battery pack that another man can't even provide to another man. So that's the last video that I wanted to show y'all to kind of circle back. I know we started off talking about relationships in certain regards, but I wanted to make sure that we circle back to that and show a man describing in Keith Lee exactly how significant that woman was to him and how important it was for him to have the same woman that was with him when he was struggling, that showed that she's with all of it. She's with all, as long as I'm with you, I'm willing to go through whatever together in order for us to work together to accomplish whatever goal we has. That's irreplaceable. So what advance, right? We need to encourage more too, and listen. We need to encourage more too, and listen to her sometimes. Her ideas might be better. 100%. And what's funny is, what Vaughn just wrote is 100% true. I agree with it. We need to encourage more to listen to her sometimes, because sometimes her ideas are better. I get what you're saying. I know typing and stuff, whatever. But Vaughn's is saying, like, yo, we need to encourage more men to be open to listening to more of your ladies' ideas, all these things. Yeah, we want to work together. Yo. Like, men are very clear. We need women. We ain't running around here saying that we don't need women. And to be totally honest, a good relationship, I was watching this clip, a great relationship, I think that's when you're calling each other about silly stuff. Like, yo, what should I eat for lunch? What should I do about this? Well, I got this issue. And where other people listening could be like, why is he asking you that? Or why is she asking you that? What do you mean? That's my person. That's who I talk to about decisions. So I just think that Anthony's, you summed it up just like that. We need each other. I don't need to say anything else after that. Let's finish up here. Let's do our 45 seconds very quickly, as if we could do 45 seconds very quickly. 45 seconds. If you're new to the show, Anthony, so this is what we finish out every show with, 45 seconds of us just taking that time to do whatever it is we need to do to put us in the right mindset, to finish out the week strong, to start the week, depending on what day it is. Since it's Friday, we got to finish out strong. So take 45 seconds, get your breath work in, manifest, clear your mind, focus on something, do whatever it is that you need to do. If you're in a safe place, close your eyes, think, breathe, use every sense. If you're manifesting, then use every sense that you have to manifest. Think about a goal that you want. Matter of fact, 45 seconds. Can we try this? For 45 seconds, let's think about the changes that we want to make in 2024. Let's think about one change. Let's think about one change in particular that we want in our lifestyle, and think about every single sense. Touch, 5 senses: touch, hear, feel, taste, smell. Think about that new house that you want to move into. What's it going to smell like? What candles are you going to put in there? we're gonna have it smell like a hotel, like that favorite hotel that you have that you walk in on vacation and it just smells like vacation. Think about what the food's gonna taste like that y'all cooking there. Think about what it's gonna sound like when all your family's there. Think about what it's gonna look like, the view from the balcony, what it's gonna look like, the view in your backyard or sitting down in your man cave, what that's gonna look like. Think about what it's gonna feel like, opening up that door, your kids running up to you, hugging you. Think about what that's gonna feel like when you're hugging your first child. Think about what it's gonna feel like when you laying on them 5,000 thread counts. I don't even know if that's a real thread count, but on them 5,000 thread count sheets when you don't even want to get up and you just cuddling with your lady or your man. Think about it, all those things. So we're manifesting, and 45 seconds. Let's go. Close your eyes if you're in a safe place. Ocean views. Oh! All right, one more breath. Inhale all the positive energy. Inhale all the things that you want. Inhale all the things that you want to manifest. Exhale anything that's getting in the way. One more. Yeah. I at the thread count. Yo, I appreciate y'all. I promise y'all, man. I love y'all. Yo, shows like this. Remember how I told y'all at the end of every show, I get a feeling of like, that was an okay show, or that was cool. I love feeling like this on a Friday. I promise y'all, man. I love y'all. I'm finna have is my breakfast ready? I'm just joking, but kind of. But I appreciate y'all. This is what we're here for, man. This is what we're here for. This is so fun to me. This is so fun. Like I enjoy doing this so much with y'all, and I appreciate it. Strength and honor, onward and upward. Y'all know what we're here to do. Elevate on purpose, as well as being intentional. Being on purpose from an intentional standpoint, but intentional about raising our standards. So when we raise our standards, we're going to become the leader that we need to become for the people that we love and the people that we influence. And also, it's going to help us accomplish the things that we set out to accomplish. So with that, get to that bag. Friday is when you get to see what was in your bag. What did you collect all week? The things that are important that allow you to strive for that purposeful abundance. That's what we mean by in your bag. What's in your bag is in your bag. What's in my bag is peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and of course, in everything we do, integrity. And make sure you hit the bell. Make sure y'all hit the like on the way out. Anthony said, when we going to be back? We'll be back Monday at 8 a.m. So we typically do Monday and Fridays at 8 a.m. And then Wednesday, we do an evening show or night show at 9. We got some other things in the works. We're going to incorporate some other folks as well. And funny, bro. Yo, I love y'all, man. Uncle, brother, gang, you know what it is. Salute. Appreciate you. And I got to tap into you were suggesting something from last show. I got to go back and check that out. So I will do that over the weekend. And then, of course, Ant sent the fire emojis. Respectfully, on behalf of Queez, of course, I love y'all, man. I'll see y'all soon. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.